What is up, people?
He's uncut.
What you been up to, Jay? Been gone for a minute, huh?
Oh man, um, just life pretty much.
We got a new.
Life. What kind of life do you possibly have?
Hell no.
A human life.
Like what?
Well,
Little Brandon.
work,
Yeah.
home, down downtown, stuff
Going
like that.
downtown. Y'all supposed
Yes,
to be talking
downtown
Oh,
about
yeah.
Chicago. Huh?
nothing. Uh,
He,
so
little nigga, he
is
stayed in San Diego.
your boys that you were on with that you were with the other night? Did they characters now?
Nick was
What'd you say?
You know those dudes you were with the other night
how many people in there?
Yeah.
that you're trying to convince? Are they flat earthers yet?
You
Nah,
live yet?
but they are on the fence though. They are like they said you brought up some good points. I ain't gonna lie. It's a process. I'll eventually get them.
Because what's got? Oh well. Oh, what's up? What's up, Logic? How you doing, man? We'll get into that in a second. Yeah,
Yeah, you are.
had my little debate last night. That was fun.
Clothing, shelter, and food.
Don even showed up. I gotta. Hey, Don, you want to get on the panel? Cause we gotta have some
No,
fun today.
no.
Yeah. So last night I had a 9/11 the 9/11 report debate.
Okay.
It was pretty fun. Um, very clear. It's actually an issue I wanted to talk about with how people basically can just take the obvious things like how false flag that 9/11 was and make it so rational to themselves. It's crazy. Um,
What, people just taking shit, don't know shit?
yeah, at a debate last night on the 9/11 report, and everyone how convinced a lot of people are that that the 9/11 report was as is. It explained everything, and there was nothing wrong with 9/11 was just a terror attack, nothing else. And obviously, to me, with all the research I've done with it, I it's very clearly a false flag, and that the government knew and lied to go to war. And I mean, it's obvious.
I don't even like debate 9/11 no more.
Well, see, that's the thing. So,
Because nobody knows
I got
shit. They don't know
well,
science and they don't know the actual shit. They don't know
well,
shit.
well, that was the thing. So I get on there, and the first thing is out of the guy's mouth is, or I told the guy before we started streaming, hey, 99% of my facts that I'm going to bring have almost nothing to do with the building because realistically, you can't tell what happened inside a building that's completely crumbled. You'd have to look at it as when it was built, so or still up. So I told him
Oh
all
man, I
my
wish I was there. Oh, bro, you don't even use the building. That's the whole conversation.
do. See, but that's the problem. So the nano what is it called?
Yeah, get your life straight.
My live straight. My live's been recorded. The nanothermite is what a lot of people were saying is the reason the buildings were burning for so many days, and stuff
That
like
shit
that
was
is kind
burning
of
for what, a month or something.
24 days. Basically, the reason I don't like to use it is there's more than enough evidence to show before it happened, and then the series of things that happened after. Um, a lot of people want to use, it, so I looked into the engine. The problem with looking into the engine is that those planes had 8 different engines for that model alone. So you know what I mean. So it's harder to justify that one engine to know what was in it if that was the only engine that was found. You can't. There's nothing to match it to. And then
Yes, it is. They matched it to they've been. Don't worry. No, I
No,
got you.
no, no. That's it. Because see, the thing is when they matched it, there's so many variables of engines that even the engine they said is wrong is a model of engine that goes into the 757. That's or the 767. I'm sorry.
They know exactly what engine it is, and I'll show you don't worry, like I said, like I got you in the back chat
Okay,
or behind the scenes.
so but see the things that I use were so clear that you don't even need to. That was the thing.
What?
I let them for an hour. I let
Yeah,
this
it's a
guy
bad
talk.
connection downstairs.
Say again.
Oh no, I was talking to somebody else. My bad.
Uh, yeah. The whole time so we started the stream up, and for the first hour, literally, all he wanted to do was talk about the building, and then talk about what like the crazy conspiracy theorists use, like um, that it was a missile. Okay, well we saw it had wings. We know it wasn't a missile. I don't use anything that would be considered computer generated because I don't have the means to show how it was computer generated. So what I look into
I don't even go that
is
route.
I use paperwork, things that the people are saying, things, actions they're doing. That basically this guy's whole reasoning for going or justifying going to war was at one point in time four deactivators of Iraq, four soldiers that didn't want that left Iraq, told them that he had weapons of mass destruction. Now that's not enough reasoning for Congress to allow us to go to war, which is why Bush said he had weapons of mass destruction, and we knew for sure. But that was all bullshit because for 2 years prior to going to war, Saddam had been writing documentation saying, "Come and inspect these facilities." So,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but that ain't even a debate, man. You supposed to get into
oh no, see,
building 7 and all
no, see,
that
that's the
type of
thing.
stuff,
There's
man.
things about all those that
Fuck
are
all that
inconsistent.
paperwork shit.
There's things about it that are inconsistent with how both sides say, and the fact that a company like Nest that investigated the collapse, the fact that they were so willing to falsify the reports, it's impossible to use them to use any evidence you would think you have because that is such a credible source. Now, the problem I had is like I said, you don't need the buildings. So, for instance, Las Vegas, you don't need to actually look into from the first bullet to the last bullet. You just need to look into what happens before and what's going on after, and it's clear it's a false flag. False flags aren't have no, almost no evidence to the false flag when from the event itself.
Shit. Math and science.
Say again?
Math and science.
Well, facts. I mean, you have documents. It's just as good. See, what you're saying is you're making it seem like you have to use the buildings and the planes as
Do you know
your
how much
facts.
contradictory paperwork there is on both sides? It's like when we use paperwork from the government, that's the small amount that go against the large papers. I mean the large group of papers. So it's like that it could be a trade-off with that.
Okay,
If you
but
want to debate the scene and then don't debate the scene, it's like I guess.
well, see, that's the thing. So the research that I do to figure out what's usable and not usable, there are documents that I used and there's facts that I use that you can't go against. So me saying, so basically, this guy assumes that we went to war on true pretenses. Well, I asked him, what name one reason we went to war? Name one plausible reason. And the only reason he had this for 3 hours that made it plausible was these four guys that were defectors of Iraq. And I told him that's nothing. That's not nowhere near enough. there's stuff that happens before. Can you explain to me how a United Airlines, before the attacks, the big shareholders sold everything or sold most of their stocks? After, they seem to have all of a sudden decided to buy stocks. They have these guys that they have an official document saying on September 10th, the plan of action to how a possibility of how they could go to war with Iraq. Now, I explained to the guy, the government didn't have to plan 9/11 for it to be a false flag. They had to have used 9/11 to make it a false flag, and I sufficiently proved it. Yeah, like I said, 3 hour stream, and it took me about 45 minutes. Every time I'd bring up a point that just destroyed anything they could possibly say, or they couldn't have a rebuttal to, they'd go off onto some tangent about something else. But my biggest issue is how easy it is for people to just close their eyes and just blindly believe what the government says just because they wrote it on some paper. I explained to the guy, in the report, it even talks about lies that officials made. The guy who signed off, one of the commissioner guys that signed off on the 9/11 report, he was on George Bush's campaign. He worked with Condoleezza Rice for 5 years. How do you prove something in a report and it's collusion all up and down it? Those things just don't make sense. But yeah, it was, like I said, it was a successful win for me again. I am taking all challenges for any debate. Don, I have no idea why you're not here yet, because you were talking to Bro Sanchez, and there's some things I'd like to crush you on.
I'm gonna crush you on that whole dome thing. How you think it's no dome? You think it's infinite?
Unmute again. Jay, gotta unmute your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
I said I'm gonna crush you on that whole infinite space thing.
You all choppy. Hang on. Don in there talking shit.
I'm a doo-doo.
Do me a favor, and you may need to back out and come back in, or refresh your mic. Yeah. Well, until he gets back. Where is it? Let me see if I can.
Yo.
All right, much better.
I said I'm gonna crush you on that dome thing. I mean, on that infinite space thing.
Go ahead. You can try.
Nah, I succeed.
Let's see it.
Oh, okay. All right, present your points about it, and then how would that work? And so far as how does that work? Pretty much.
How does space work?
Nobody knows. I don't understand.
No, I'm saying like as far as him having those heliocentric beliefs on a geocentric world.
When you look up at the sky, what are you looking at?
Blue.
The heavens.
Blue at day. Black
What is
at night.
that?
A color.
Come on, man. What are you looking at?
The sky.
Why is
The heavens, brother. You're looking at the heavens.
Past that? What is past the sky?
The heavens.
Come on, madam. We're having a serious conversation.
I am
That,
serious, brother. It's ten
What the fuck
heavens.
is the
What you
heavens
mean?
then? What is the heavens? What is the heavens, madam?
Well,
Where's heaven?
which
Where's
heaven you want to talk about? You got the heavens that the birds fly in. You got the heavens that the sun and the moon is
You
in.
see,
You got the
all
heavens.
right. Mute your mic, mute your mic, mute your mic. You're talking bullshit. You're talking, but
No,
you're
okay.
this,
changing
I
the
want to ask a
whole
question.
narrative of what we're talking about. We're having a serious conversation. When
Madonna,
you
where does
look up
heaven
at
start?
nighttime, what are you looking at?
but that's the thing.
Oh, the glory of God.
That's what I
Damn,
don't
man.
Come
understand. Like,
on, man. That bitch ass nigga don't exist. Come on, Madon. Damn, we having a science conversation. When
now
you
as
look up
far
at the
as
sky at night or in the daytime, when you look past the clouds and all that, what are you looking at?
honestly, my what I believe is, I don't necessarily think that I'm looking at an emptiness of infinite space. I don't think that it's. It could be like, it could be as far as darkness. I believe I'm looking at water because it makes that makes more sense. Because when the sun, during the day, you see blue, and that would make sense for it to be water up there because you see blue. Water is blue.
But then why don't you see
So
that at
you're
night?
calling space water. I don't understand the difference.
No, but if it was
No,
water,
no.
why does it change at night?
Wait, what?
Why?
The
What
whole
makes
conversation is space. Space
Right.
is what you see past the emptiness, and after the emptiness, you see lights, what we consider is stars or planets. So to say that there is no space or explain space, what are you looking at?
No, I'm not saying there's no space. I'm saying as far as him saying that it's infinite, and he's saying that basically there is no dome.
When have you ever seen it stop?
You said when?
The moment you look out, you just see distance and shit.
my
When
version
have
of
you seen?
infinite is the fact that it's like we can't say unless you can see where the wall is or see a wall or the inside of where we are. You can't. It's not a known location, so as infinite is as good of a theory as I can give it without knowing.
But as far as the dome, now with what I believe in, there has to be a dome for separation. But as far now on your model, then what makes the sky blue?
Reflection. It the easiest way to explain it is the reflection of the ocean, but at the same time, because our atmosphere, there's so much moisture in our airs that it's basically a reflection of the water molecules and on Earth
So the sky is blue because there's moisture in the air, um,
and the ocean.
and in the ocean.
Because water's clear, but when you have the same way, almost like a rainbow is made, is the same reason why water appears blue. Because
Um,
if it was anything different, then it would be a different color. Uh, mute your. Am I done?
Oh no, I'm just gonna say a rainbow proves that the Earth is a globe.
oh
Why?
my
Sounds
Oh,
god.
okay.
stupid,
No,
man.
hang on. Tell me why, because I know exactly what you're going to say, and I can tell you exactly how that's not true.
No, I can wait. Yeah, I don't want to get y'all off topic. I can wait.
Okay. Well, if it were the reason you're saying where there's water above, then it would also be blue at night, or at
I
least even have
disagree.
a blue tint. Why?
I disagree because okay, look, when you if you have a pool, you have like an Olympic swimming pool. If you turn the lights off, you see a black pool, like the pool is black.
But
But you
the
turn the
problem with
light on, the pool is back blue.
It's
what you're
chemicals in the
saying
water.
now. The problem with what you're saying now is there's no water above to or no canvas above to say that with. I guess you could say. So this are basically the light isn't isn't shining up for the sky.
I'm trying to grasp what you're trying to say.
All right, so better yet, when I think I explained it wrong. But when if you go to a pool and there's people swimming in it and their lights are above it, you can see the water reflecting on the walls and the ceiling.
Uh huh.
Same thing.
Right.
That's the same reasoning for why the sky is blue to me. Now, when you turn those lights off, it goes dark.
Mm-hmm.
That is the same reasoning. That's the only explanation I can give you for why I believe it's blue and why I believe it goes dark at night. The problem I have is if there's water up there, when the sun is so far that we can't see it, we would still see. I'm sorry, that reflective light there because you don't have to have a source of light to be able to see the water shining.
Wait. So okay. Wait. You saying? Wait. Are you saying that the sun would reflect on that water above, or?
Yeah, it would have to. The same way it reflects on the water below, it would have to shine on water above if there was.
But at the same time,
Uh,
you would have to think about
but
stuff like positioning within the system. Like maybe it's not, maybe the dome could be way higher than we actually thought. I mean, the only people who
but
probably actually know is the people who've actually tried to go up. And at the same time, it's like the sun may be, I mean, I understand the sun is really bright, but at the same time, the dome may not be a reflective material.
okay, and that was brings me to the next one. If you're saying the dome, and when you say the dome, you're saying glass, plastic. Those are man-made. Those are man-made things still, which means they would have had to have been built. And then you're going into a realm that just doesn't. There's no possible backing for it.
Well, when I say dome, I say that for a lack of a better word because we don't. As far as I know, I don't actually know that it's act what it's made of as far as glass or anything. But the best word I can give it is dome. It could be made. It could be a force instead of like a glass, and it could be like made of some stuff we don't even have that we
The
don't even
dome
know.
is just the shape of it. That's really what it means. It's not giving like what it is. It's just the shape is the
Right.
dome.
Because the way I see it
Nah, man,
is
ain't no dome up there, brother. Let me save you some
It's
time.
called the atmosphere.
yeah, I believe the atmosphere and the space between the atmosphere and the space up between space is what would be considered the dome. Everything it does, the way it reacts, the way it is when we go in and out of it, everything says that's a, a plausible way of saying that there is something in between us. I think when people are saying the dome, whether they believe as you do, you believe that there is something physical there, or as I feel, between the two areas, it's just to say dome is basically just the difference between the two. We know there's a space between. There's something. There's a medium between the two. There is atmosphere here, and there's no atmosphere here. That is a dome.
Well, I disagree with that because if you believe that there's nothing there, then that's kind of back to the heliocentric model, and it goes back to okay, if they send rockets up, they should be able to send them up, and up. Then they go to some place, but they send them up, curve, and they come back to where they started from. Not
Okay. Well, here's the
exactly,
problem.
but
How so in a quarter mile race, can a car go 0 to 100 in 10 feet?
wait, what are you at? You said can a car go 0 to 110 feet?
Yeah,
Of
100
course
miles.
not.
Okay. So it takes time for that car to get to 100 miles an hour. The same way it takes time for a rocket to get to 17. So if it goes straight up, it has less time to do it.
So you're saying they can actually go to some place out there?
Yeah, I believe low space orbit
Okay, let me ask you this: if they can go to some place out there, why do they have to cut the camera every time they go up, up, up? Cut to somebody who's talking about it, then they
because
come back, then
I have no
I,
idea
record.
what it's saying.
I honestly believe because they
I
don't
think
want
I threw it away.
because if they continue to go, you'll see the fact that it's a flat Earth, and that's the same issue.
But they
No,
have
the thing
they have
about it,
this.
they never cut the camera. What you're seeing is somebody shooting the footage from on ground, and then they just switch to the camera that's attached to what they sending up in space. If you notice, that's what happens every time. You have a camera from ground or someone in some type of plane or something, and then it switches to the camera that's attached to the rocket.
But Madon, here's the problem with what you're saying. If you go to live footage of the ISS right now, name one time you've ever seen that camera pan in any other direction.
Well, I give you that. I never seen that because if for one, I never really checked the ISS. I mean, I've seen a couple videos, but as far as that, you got me on that. I haven't seen them with the camera in another
Because
direction.
if you watch the ISS feeds and you see bodies of land, those bodies of land are just as big as those fake pictures they have. That's the biggest issue with those live footage. People want to say, "Oh, well, they have live footage. That's nice." Well, I can show you video of that live footage where the time on it says it's real, and there's different speeds of the Earth rotating. How does that happen? I have video of an Earth where you watch it and there's almost zero rotation, zero. Like I I go to it, I take a screenshot. I go to it 10 minutes later, and there's the same river at the bottom border of the video in the same spot. The little ticker's clicking. There's a little asterisk on the side saying where it's located and the wind speeds of, or not the wind speeds, I'm sorry, of the location of where ISS is. That's moving, but the video is not moving. Uh, the little baggies or like little tool belt things they have along the sides, those are all moving, like as if it's moving. So it's not like a still shot. Then I got another picture, another little video thing where it's flying. I mean, I'm talking this thing is moving, and it doesn't make sense. How do you have live feed with two different versions?
I don't want you to get away from this body bag. Now let me stop. But but back to it. Like it just doesn't sit with me because if they were able to go somewhere out there, then they wouldn't do these suspect things such as cutting the camera, such as because they have the curved lenses. I'm pretty sure it's a way around. They have all this stuff figured out. If it was somewhere, and plus they put it in so many subliminals in the commercials where the guy's just bursting through the domes, and then the commercial it looks like some kind of glass, and then you got the Simpsons, and the Simpsons. Like I'm not giving them Simpsons is always right, but they have predicted all kind of stuff, and then they show the guys hitting the baseball into the dome, and it looks like some kind of glass structure, and it's just stuff
Okay,
like that.
but
I
okay,
think
so
that I think they're just making fun of the flat earthers when they do that, man. With the dome, and I seen an episode of The Simpsons. Seems like they making fun of flat earthers.
see the biggest issue I have with what you're saying, Jay, is that I don't think your understanding is that when you change from one medium to another, there is a barrier between the two. A drop of water is exactly you're saying a drop of water. There's no barrier between them, but there is.
Yeah, but okay, but what do you on your model? What is that space? What is it? Is it a vacuum or is it
The
what is it?
vacuum of space. No, well, the vacuum of space isn't the barrier. The between the two is
So you don't think it's water up there?
no.
Okay, so what about This was an actual experiment. Um, what about if you take a camera, the P900, of course, and zoom in on stars? You see them flicker as if, and they look as though they're in water. And
Okay.
you put a light, like a laser pointer or something, you put in water, and you move that water. It shows the same effect.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. So we see without the camera, you can look into the sky and you see your stars twinkling, correct?
Correct.
And that is essentially what you see when you look into a pea and you're seeing that wavy, so it looks like it's water. Now, how come planets don't do that?
Well, because they're said to not be where those other stars are. They're said to be in the system and not um, within the firmament like the other stars.
Hey,
But my bad, Madon.
can I
We had
answer that real quick?
go ahead,
What's going
but to
on?
make sure when you're
What's
not
going?
talking to mute because you have a feedback.
Oh, my bad. I was just gonna say this. When you look at these stars and what it looked like water, um, what's really going on is electricity. That's what's going on. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing electricity. It's not water. It's electricity.
But so what you're saying, Madon, but the problem with what you're saying is you're saying that the whole thing is electricity. If
Right.
that were the case, we it, I don't know how to explain how it doesn't make sense that that's
Explain it,
electricity.
Don.
What I'm saying is this: when you look at those stars through your P900, or you look up with your naked eye, the reason it looked like it's twinkling is because it's electricity. That's what's going on up there inside the stars. What we call stars, it's electricity inside them. And that's why it looked like this twinkling. It looked like waterways. That's how electricity moves.
Where you get that from?
Yeah.
I got matter of fact, to be real, I got that from a guy I study. He's a Mormon. They deal with he's not the average Mormon like the one that walking around and all this other crazy crap, but he actually one of the ones who study this heavens and the stars and stuff like that.
Okay,
The,
now,
the,
Madonna, the whole point of what we're saying is that reaction is light, which is energy traveling through a medium. So, what is the medium?
What you mean a medium?
Going, it's
Light
in
can travel through anything.
the
but
reason why it's
That's your electricity.
flickering because it's going through something. Either the atmosphere making it do that, or either what's past the atmosphere is making it do that.
Madon, do you know how a lightning is produced?
Yeah, I know how lightning is produced. What's up with that?
There needs to be a charge. There needs to be something, a positive and a negative, everything to do with it to make that happen. So
Right,
what?
electrons, you got protons. All this is inside these stars, or what we consider stars and
How
planets.
do you
No,
know that? How
yeah.
do
How
you
do
know
you know
that?
that?
How do I
How
know
do,
that?
yeah, it's impossible to know that.
Not no nothing is impossible through the Most High, brother.
See, man,
Oh
we
Jesus.
I ain't
Okay,
got
Right.
time for
okay,
foolishness, man. I ain't got
Madon.
time for
No, it's not.
shenanigans,
See,
bro.
that's the thing.
Let me explain to you
That's
real
Think
quick why
about it.
bullshit.
you.
We
Think
ain't got
about it.
time for
Wait a
that,
minute.
man.
Hold on 1 second, Ed. Think about it, brother.
Ain't nothing to think
No one
about, bro.
else.
I'm
No one
grown. I
else.
didn't thought about all
How
this
many?
No,
shit.
hang on,
How many people?
Madon.
How many people have you ever heard say tell you that it's electricity going on
Don,
when we see
here's a
these
problem
stars
with what you're
twinkle?
saying.
Nobody.
Here's a problem with what you're
What you
saying
mean
and why you
nobody?
can't.
See, that's it.
Why it's impossible for you to say what you're saying.
You
It's
can't even
impossible to
explain what you're
know
saying.
what. See, what a star is a theory because you can't see how that far. It's impossible. No one's ever seen a star, the light. No one's even. You can't see the source of a star.
Right. You can't see the source of it, but we know it's flickering. And to me, it's a form of electricity going on in there. That's what it looked like
It's
to me.
energy.
Electricity.
Light is energy. For you to
What is
say
it? Energy?
electricity,
Ain't
explain it.
energy electricity? Ain't energy electricity?
No,
It's a
Come on,
form
Ed.
of
Think about
it's
it.
electricity.
not the same thing.
It's
It's not the
one
same
Yes,
thing.
it
form of
is.
electricity. Explain it.
Energy and electricity is one and the same.
It's a
So you're
form
telling
of. So explain it, Madonna. Just don't say it. Explain it.
I just said electrons and protons, and that's
That
what's going on.
you're not explaining. You're giving out things. Explain
I
it.
How you want me to explain it, Ed? I'm explaining it your way. It's Burger
If
King
you
night.
can't
What's up?
explain it, it's a simple thing. You don't know. You just saying shit. Like how I
Well,
explain
to
how a
me,
rocket don't
that
work
make the
in
most.
space.
That to me, well, I give you that, but to me, that make the most common sense. To me, it looked
We're
like
not talking
electricity
about
going
common
on.
sense.
Yeah,
Ed,
we're talking about
no
it. No,
one, no, like Sean said, no one knows what make them do that. So to me,
So why are you
like the
making
one,
shit up
like
when we
Jay,
having a serious conversation?
like the brother Jay, he said he think it's water,
okay,
which
Madon. If
The
I
reason
understand and I
why
respect
he
that.
said
But
that
to me,
because
it looked more like
Madonna,
electricity.
the reason why he said that because there's a lot of evidence. Reason why we say water because it's the only thing on earth that we can have a representation to give you understanding what we're talking about. It's not water, but it's in sense say ether, dark matter, shit like that. So for you to do this little bullshit that you doing,
God damn it, Madon. His fucking globe fucking signals. Um, the issue is there's no source of a star, and even more than that, that's the other issue I have with a lot of the technology and stuff they're doing. Is that guesses are fine, theories are fine, but to speak on these things like it is fact is doesn't make any sense to me. Now, Madon, when you
Well,
say
that's why
that,
I said. That's why I
okay, but
said. That's why I said it makes that what makes the most. It seems to me it look like electricity. I
no,
mean,
but
you
the
know
way
that
you
would.
say it and the way you're explaining it is like that is what it is. If that's the case, you need to explain it as this could be what it is. And I'm just saying that just in the fact that when the way you say things like that, it's a reason no one wants you to even explain it because you can't talk about these
But
things like
Sean, but if you listen to the
true.
if you listen to the key word I said seems to me it's electricity. I said seems. The key word is seem though. I said seems to me
No,
is
I promise you,
electricity going
Madon.
on.
You, I promise you, you said it is electricity, and you backed it by the guy that the Mormon guy that you were talking about.
Right, and that's why I said it makes more sense to me that electricity would explain it, and which to me is light. So anything that's consistent of light is have electricity in it. So to me, whether I can prove it or not, we see a form of electricity going on because it's lights.
Okay, but it's not a light switch. It's not like someone flips it on and off.
The Most High switched it on. What you mean?
Yeah, see, there you go. Okay, Madon,
All right,
show
who made the stars and the heavens there, brother? Who made them?
here you go. Yeah, I got it.
Whatever deity you
Show
want to put
me.
on it.
Okay. Show me your most high.
Show what you mean? Show you the Most High? I can show you His creation. I don't want
No,
to.
I want
You
you
don't
to.
want to see
I
the
want
Most
the proof
High. You
of a
don't
most
want to
high.
see.
I want the proof. I do. I want the proof of it.
You want the proof? Look around,
Yep.
brother.
No.
That's why the
Okay.
script,
Wait. Okay. Look
the
around.
heavens, wait a
Okay.
minute. The heavens.
I'm wearing a sweater right now, but that doesn't prove sheep.
It proves that the Most High created cotton so you can get that sweatshirt or
No, it
whatever you
does
got on.
not. No.
Yes, it does.
I look at my tag, and if it says cotton, I go, "Where does cotton come from? What does cotton come
All
from?
right.
What does cotton come from?"
It comes from a plant, which comes from a seed, which the Most High put on earth.
See how you,
Everything, you know,
no. Before you got to the most high part
brother.
is exactly how you prove something. Now show me your most high.
I can't show you the Most High. I can show you His creation. No man wants to see the Most High eye to eye, man. You
Show
don't want to see that, Sean.
show me the proof of most high.
All right, the heavens declare the glory of God.
We can't. Okay, we
So
can't see the heavens. We can't prove
yes, you
heaven.
can.
So
When you look up and see the stars and all that, that's
that's
the heavens.
space. That's space.
No, brother, the heavens. See, that's the thing about it.
Space. You just said space was full of all this electricity. Now you're telling me there's no space because there's heaven.
what I'm telling you is this: what we consider space, planets, stars, asteroids, meteors, the sun, the moon, all that is part of the heavens.
So you're telling me the second you get out of Earth's atmosphere, you're in heaven.
No, you in heaven right now, walking around in the air. The
No,
birds fly in
I'm
a
on
part of the
Earth.
heaven.
So
All right, the
so anything
birds.
above us, is heaven.
No, brother, you walking around in the heavens. The atmosphere is heaven as well.
So when you die, where do you stay here?
No, your spirit go back to the Most High.
Heaven, I thought. That's what I was always under the understanding of.
Right, heavens. It's more than one heavens. You know what I mean? It ain't just one heaven.
Can you prove it?
Yeah, I can prove it.
How? Don't tell me look around. Prove it.
Read the book.
Why? I can read a book, but by Bernstein Bears, it doesn't make those real.
Well, one thing we know is a fact is that,
How many different versions of the Bible is there, Madon?
well, that's the devil's work.
Okay,
You
so
see?
no. What happens is, you know what the phone game is?
What phone game?
The phone game. You know, you get if I tell you something, and then you go and tell someone else something, and you say 20 people. Do you believe what I told you will be the same thing as that 20th person tells everyone, or tells what the quote was, or whatever was said?
Well, I mean, I understand your logic and your analogy, but at the same time, see what I can do is I can
Okay.
use
Now, hang
all
on,
ancient
wait.
culture.
So, see
Go
how you
ahead.
just said you understand my logic and understand how I explained it? How come you can't do that with your Most High?
I can do that, man. I'm about to show you.
Do it.
I'm about to show
Okay,
you.
go ahead.
All right. Anytime you go to any ancient society, and you see their cosmology, the cosmology represent the heavens. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I can prove it.
You can also say it represents the space.
That's correct because space and all that is considered the heavens.
You're not proving anything. You're just talking. I need the proof.
Go outside and look up, Sean.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
That's the heavens. When you look up, man, anything in space, like according to the scriptures, right? Where the birds or the fowl or whatever you want to call it, where they fly in, that's a portion. That's considered a heaven. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so you're telling me is as soon as you get to space, it's heaven.
No, before you get to space, it's heavens. Like I said, where the birds fly it, that's a form of heavens. That's one heaven. That's one. That's one. It's multiple heavens.
Okay, so we're here on heaven. You look up, you're in heaven. So on a date during the day, you can't see heaven or another heaven.
Yeah, you see space. Like I said, with a cloud, like if you walk around in the
You just no,
atmosphere, right?
You just said when I look up, that's heaven. So during the day, I look up, it's heaven. At night, it's space.
At night is heavens as well because certain birds fly at night. Like I said, where the birds fly it, that's a form of heaven.
Okay, no,
What
I don't
space
want
is
to.
that?
No, I don't want to form because I could say um, a pool is a form of the ocean, but it doesn't make it the ocean.
Sean, what I'm telling you is this: it's multiple heavens, man. Like I
But
said, where
what
the
you're saying,
birds fly at,
okay, so
the atmosphere. All right, let me put it simple like this for you. Then the atmosphere is a heaven. How about that?
the atmosphere is the heavens. You're saying so.
Is a form of heaven. Is a
What?
form of
Okay,
heaven.
what form of heaven is it?
It's the first heaven.
Which is
The atmosphere around us, the
so.
sky.
So let me get this straight. So the first heaven is Earth, and people living. It's what it is, right?
Right. Yeah. Earth is the heaven as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so then what's the next one?
The sky.
You're not just what you're saying is everything is heaven.
Basically, it could be considered that because the reason why I say that is because the Earth
Madonna,
is in space.
are we
You see
broadcasting
that?
on it? Are we broadcasting on heaven too?
Yeah, because we're in heaven.
I didn't ask you that. Are we
See,
broadcasting on heaven? Like we're
yeah,
talking, like see how Google Hangouts is broadcasting what we're saying? Is that heaven?
yep. Because long as we sitting around in the atmosphere, yep.
I'm out of here.
But you explain and then you take what you're saying to so left field is why what you say
No, I
is
don't. That's why I told you the atmosphere around you, Sean, is a form of heaven.
Okay, so we're gonna move
You
on.
breathing in air. You breathing in air, right?
I know.
No
I'm
matter where you
happy.
go, you breathe in
Yeah,
air, right?
I'm breathing in air. I'm not breathing in heaven.
This man
That's
was
what I'm telling you.
smoking
The
heaven.
atmosphere, the atmosphere is a form
No,
of
seriously.
heaven.
I believe that you are the Most High, because there's no possible way for anyone to to have the logic you do without being that high.
He
No, man,
is high.
you have to be on a certain level to comprehend
Yeah, I just
and
explained that you
apprehend
are the
what I'm
Most
talking
High.
about.
You're the Most High, Madon. No one else gets higher than you.
I mean, that's fine, brother. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to just keep the convo moving, we can, man. You know what I
Okay,
mean? But
I would love to. I would
I
love to.
just gave I
But
just gave you I just dropped a whole bunch of jewels, and hopefully one day they'll pay.
wait, well, make sure you flush. Now back to
I'm trying to flush out your rhetoric.
yeah. That's exactly what you're doing. You're just all just rhetoric, all everything, just blah blah blah. Blah. But Jay, back to what we were saying. I
Oh,
The issue I have with the waters above, if there's so what see, it's hard for me to grasp waters above without a actual physical barrier. Like I said, if you're talking physical barrier, then you have to take into account repairs, built it because
that's
it's not,
false.
huh?
That's false. I mean, if the deity, whoever put it there, if I'm pretty sure I mean, it has to be something that's self-sustainable. It has to sustain itself. As
But why
such,
couldn't
the same
the
as the sun
barrier
and the moon.
between two chemicals do, or two yeah, basically two chemicals or two you can't really call it an atmosphere. Why can't the vacuum of space and atmosphere be that barrier?
Because they atmosphere and vacuum. Because think about it, of the vacuum would suck up the atmosphere, so like there has to be some point. Like if they meet, the vacuum would just suck up all the air until there is no more air, and we would all suffocate. And
But at the same time, uh, from what I believe it is because I also kind of have the way I'm trying to work with it is that we know there's a bottom. I mean, flat Earth has to have a bottom. Who's to say that there's not a type of atmosphere there too? Um, so for me, the atmosphere could be shaped whatever it is. It could be a sphere. I don't know,
right,
but I know we live on a flat Earth. But so you know, basically you put a damn ah. So you got a basketball. You put it in this in damn. I forget what I'm trying to say. Is right on the tip of my tongue. Basically, the compression. You know, the air in a ball. If you you bring out your air in a ball, you pump it up, and if you pump it up too much, it explodes.
hmm
Well, for the reason that air stays in there, besides the fact that it's in a ball, it it's contained. It's forces the atmospheric pressure around it holds it all in, and I kind of feel like that's the same thing where there's so much vacuum. So if there was only vac of us only, I could see what you're saying, but because that vacuum force is everywhere all around, that it can't displace the air, the oxygen. So
but
it
if that's the case, why isn't the vacuum vacuuming whatever the layer is between the atmosphere and the vacuum? Why isn't the vacuum ripping that apart if it's not physical? Because a vac if it's like I think you said pressure or something like that. If it's
yeah.
something like that, I'm pretty sure a vacuum could interact with that in some way, shape, or form to disrupt it.
Okay, so you know basically what do you call it? We'll use a lava lamp. You
hmm
know, a lava lamp. The there are two meetings in there. You know, the water, then whatever the hell that lava stuff is made of.
The gooey stuff, yeah.
Yeah, as it moves up and down, it's displacing that area. It because the way the vacuum is around us, it can't displace. There's no. You see what I'm saying? There's no way for the vacuum to displace it.
But how is that though? How is it? Because I understand if it's in formation without the vacuum, I can understand that. But if it's in
Or
formation,
if anything, without a vacuum, it would do what you're saying.
but I mean, okay, so you're saying the pressure keeps, I mean, the vacuum keeps the pressure in place.
Yes.
I can't see how that would happen because the vacuum would be the
If
pulling force.
so, if you go get a shot glass and you try to suck all the air out of it, you won't be able to. It's just true.
I mean, of course that's true, but how does that? Oh, wait, I'm trying to see what. No, but in this scenario, we're speaking about the back of the shot glass. Because think about it, if you turn it,
It's not in a if the shot glass has that, you know, obviously the shot glass has no top, so
mm,
it's not a complete seal like I would imagine it being.
no, but if you find a surface such as a glass and you put that shot glass upside down on that, and then you try to do what you said.
But then you're trying to make it like it's a dome.
No,
I see what
but
I
wait,
see what you're doing.
no, but it, but what you're saying that the pressure forms like this it forms around the flat Earth. But what shape? Okay, then what shape does it form if not a dome shape?
Oh, I think it's a dome shape because
Right,
the same way. No, no, no. See the idea of a dome. I get it. I get that's what above looks like.
right.
But to be a physical, so if it was a physical thing, I just can't see how because comets, the meteor or comets, because meteors are actually when they come in, comets bouncing off. Because the best way I could have thought about it is that like when you see a shooting star. When I first got to flat Earth, trying to figure out what I believed in it and everything, I figured that a shooting star would be it bouncing off this dome. The problem I have with that is if that were the case, then why wouldn't we see scuff marks? Now, I get it that to say glass, plastic, those things aren't viable. It's not.
Wait, you cutting out?
I
Hello?
think a meteor. I think a meteor probably hit the cell phone tower by his house or something. You know what I'm saying? But this is what it is, man. We got to remember, the Earth
Uh,
itself is in a vacuum of space. You see what I'm
Oh my
saying? So
gosh, I'm dying.
there you go.
wait, say it again, Madon?
I was telling the brother Jay that the Earth itself is in the vacuum of space. We can't forget that the Earth is in space itself.
Yeah, I agree
It's
with that. I can agree with that.
But Sean, to what you were saying about the last thing you said was what was the last thing you were saying about how things hit the, like, I mean, as far as it I would imagine that it's made of a, like I said, made of something that's not here, obviously, because it's far they can't penetrate it, they can't get through it. Now, as for comets and all that stuff, I look at it like this. Like, you always hear about things coming in, but you never hear about things getting out. So I think it's cuz
What
like
about an IC? What about an ICBM missile?
who what did a what now?
What about an ICBM missile? You know, we know that ICBM missiles, in order to reach the next continent, they leave the Earth's atmosphere, go in space, then come back in.
Here's the other thing, Madon.
How
The other thing that I think a lot of like you're not realizing, Radon, is that no one is saying the dome is just right there. I mean, a lot of people do, but
Right.
I've a lot of the people that I've heard talk that make more sense of the dome to me that they don't know how far that the top of the dome is. There are
Right.
things that make sense in the terms of we know that we can fly so high in an airliner, so that's how we know the sun isn't 20,000 feet away. You know, stuff like that. So there are ways that we can still do that. There are, I know for a fact, you know, like people are saying, we're for a long time, we're saying it was like the dome was like 70,000 feet up. But then things started, you know, certain things happened, and then they realized it couldn't have possibly been that low. Um, I get what you're saying, Jay. It's just for me when I'm thinking about it, the difference between the two atmospheres, that medium between the two, is the dome. The same way, if you get a bottle of helium and you just open that helium all the way up the bottle, when that helium is coming out of that bottle, there's no oxygen inside that helium stream. There is a difference between the two. Now, if you say we're able to let out enough that it was a large area, and you stepped into that area, there would be no oxygen. The same way there is no oxygen in space.
But okay, but how would that explain? Okay, now I'm trying to grasp like all your views on this so I can accurately ask questions that you should be able to answer. But now, as far as them being side by side, I still don't see. I would have to see an experiment where pressure and a vacuum can coexist and it form the dome shape around this the flat earth. Because I mean I can understand, it's easier for me to understand, oh, there's a dome, a physical dome kind of thing put over this land, and there's water on top of it. I mean that just explains itself. Obviously the water can't go through it. It must be some physical thing that's holding it up there. And as far as these stars, we see the stars twinkle and we look up and they show kind of like wave patterns. Um, and it would make sense because when the sun at night is dark and when the sun comes, it would make sense because in a way maybe the sun is only reflecting off the water in the sky, which is why the sky is blue, and it's not reflecting off the dome because the dome is made of some structure um, that we don't have, that which is obviously why we don't know how to penetrate it, because we don't know what it is.
It's called magnetism. That's why you got two poles. You see, the
But see,
poles.
but go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead. I want to hear.
No, I was
I
just
want to
gonna say,
explain.
the way I see it is, he's because he's still on what's separating, what's holding it together, and what's separating the two atmospheres and stuff like that. And to me, it's the electromagnetism and the magnetic fields, because we got two poles. So to me, that magnetic field, which we know is magnetic, which is magi, I always go back to magic because you can't see it. It's an invisible force that
No,
that's hard to be explained. And to me, electromagnetism and electromagnetic field and all this stuff, you know what I mean, it's what and gravity, which pulls everything inward, is what's holding this globe together.
Nope, you just forfeited yourself from the debate. You just brought up gravity.
hey,
How?
I got a question for you. You do know that you don't need two magnets to have a north and a south, right?
I mean, I understand that, but we know the Earth does have two poles.
No. So let's just say, for just think of it, okay? Just I know you don't, but just try to imagine this. There's one pole, right? We have one. We, as far as we're concerned, have one pole. the North Pole, correct?
No, I don't know about
Correct.
one pole, brother. It's two
Okay.
poles. Your
Okay.
body even have two
Like I
poles.
said, as far as us flat earthers are concerned, we have one,
Well,
the
yeah, yeah,
North
you're
Pole.
right. You're right. That's
Okay.
correct.
Now that one pole, do you think you need a South Pole for that the magnet, the magnet? Damn, everything's on the tip of my tongue today, and I just can't get it out. Do you think you need to have the Jesus?
South Pole.
Another pole, and
The magnetated field that you're talking about. Do you think you need a North and a South Pole for that?
yes, you do. Unless you got a whole bunch of other poles that's going around your flat Earth model. Otherwise,
No,
it won't.
because now listen, the so the North Pole has a South Pole of its own. Every magnet, every magnet, every single magnet has a North and a South. You don't need two magnets to make a North and a South.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. We know on a magnet, um, either a perpendicular magnet or a long magnet. So on this North Pole on the flat Earth, is it just one spot, or does this North Pole go through the whole center of the flat Earth model? Because you have to explain that to me.
It would be, well, unless there's a barrier that would stop it. I mean, I know Earth doesn't stop it, so yeah, it just like the gravitational field is. It's the same thing.
Okay, now see, now
You don't need two poles to do it.
Sean, that's impossible. The North Pole. So you telling me this North Pole is it just a pole just sticking out of the ground? What is this North Pole?
No, it's not
And
a
if,
north. It's
and
not
if
a.
it if it
Well,
is
yeah,
if it's the North
there is a
Pole,
stick. There actually is a stick that is
if the
there.
North
Yes.
and let me say that if the North Pole is going through the ground and to create its own South Pole, that means it's a North and a South Pole. So what that's going to do is just like what when you
No,
get an orange,
but
what
not
create the
so.
short the north and the south of the seed creates the circumference or the shape of the orange. Go ahead.
Madon, you do know that even when you talk North and South Pole, it's not an actual pole, right? Like it's not the pole that does it. Like they don't have like the super magnets up there. You know that, right?
Right, and that's what I'm telling
Okay,
you because I'm trying to. That's why I asked you how is your North Pole made? Like how does it work?
it's the
Like your
same
North
thing,
Pole, like
exact
what
same
what is
way.
it? Is it a dot? Is it what is
It
creating?
is a phenomenon because it's not a you like you're asking me what makes it okay. Then what makes it on a globe?
My thing is this: the hemispheres. You got two
No, no, the
hemispheres
hemispheres are the
which create
places.
which right. Which the place is based on the landmass and all that. Which the North have a top and the southern hemisphere have a bottom. So you got a top and a bottom, which create two poles. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I was asking you,
But
on the flat Earth model, how is what how is this North Pole made? Like, is it a tree? Is it Meru? I mean,
okay,
that's what I'm
here's
trying
the
to
thing.
get to.
So yeah, okay, I get what you're saying now. But here's what the problem is. I ask you what makes it on Earth. You tell me it's the force, basically the force, because it's the North and the South poles.
Right, created by two hemispheres.
Okay, you need to understand that. Let's just say they that there's we cut off half the Earth. I'm sure you heard this tonight already about the cutting half the Earth. You do realize that the North Pole, there would still be a magnetic field around us, right? Because
Right,
the
because you would
North
still have a
Pole
top and a because you would
creates,
still have a top and a bottom.
yes, the North Pole creates a South Pole on its own. See,
How?
and that's also another
How?
reason why it okay. That's why a globe doesn't also work. It, in my opinion, which made me just realize it. If there was a North and a South Pole, so we're saying the Earth is changing its shape, slightly, but still doing it.
Right, because to me,
Well,
what was created, what was making it look like to me. Now, this is my own humble opinion. Now, I'm not saying this is factual or actual,
here's the
but to
problem.
me,
Okay.
by my own self observation,
Okay.
to me, what's going on because you got water moving, and then you got the atmosphere moving in different directions. To me, that's what creating what they would call a
The oblique.
oblate or whatever they want to name it.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the problem with
Spiral
what
or
you're saying now.
whatever.
Okay. You ready? Here's the crazy. I want you to really think about this too. What
Go for it.
happens when you put two magnets, north or south and south, together?
They connect.
No, they actually separate. You got to have
No,
a north to a south.
right. They
Okay, right?
separate.
Yeah, yeah.
When you put south and
Okay.
north together, they oh my god, yeah, go for it.
Okay. So we can measure the amount of magnetism basically because of this, because of the north and south pole. You're saying correct? Like we can measure the amount of magnetism, basically how a compass works. If it was like you say it is, a north and a south, then basically we would either crunch in completely, or if you flip it, we would go. They would spread apart from each other so far that we would actually be getting narrower.
Well, see, Sean, the key word in what you're saying is if. But see, the Most High or whoever you want to call it, when they created it, they made it perfect. You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
The
that
mathematics
alone.
that the
So
creator force used to create this earth. That's why the atmosphere is so perfect. That's why they say,
okay,
well,
I have
if the atmosphere was this much, we won't be able to breathe. And
I have a
that's why you
question.
got high elevations. You go in, you know what I'm saying?
I have a question then, Madan. Fish are shits and giggles. If there wasn't a Most High, this wouldn't be possible. All this
Exactly.
perfection. Okay, so
Right.
what you're telling me is if there was no God, none of this would work. This globe model would not work.
Wouldn't nothing work. It won't be no creation.
How is it? So because here's why I asked that question, because what you're saying and what you believe is just a belief. It's not a fact. It's not a proven fact. It's not
It
there.
is. It is.
How? How?
That's how this planet is able to sustain life because the Most High, everything that was needed, everything whether you want to, whether it's religious, whether people want to say it's a religion or not, everything you need to sustain yourself on this earth, the Most High provided it. You see what I'm saying? He put everything in perfect synchrony. The sun, the moon, the atmosphere, the water. That's why you got seawater. That's why they say, oh, you can't drink seawater because even the scriptures tell you he separated two different waters. He made two different waters, not in the creation story, but in other stuff where he's talking about the sea, what's the difference between the sea and what we would call salt water and the difference in fresh water. You see what I'm saying? He made both.
But the problem is that we know exactly why saltwater is saltwater and freshwater is freshwater.
Right, because
Wait, let me.
what the Most High put in place, He put in place. I mean, Sean, I'm just let's just be real. Hey, man, I'm just man. Hold up.
Madon, let me ask you something, Madon. Okay, so look, I'm gonna put this as simple as I can. Okay, so it doesn't make sense for you to believe general astronomy and then quote the Bible.
Thank you.
For one, the Bible says that the sun was created first, and then no. The Bible says that the earth was created first, then the sun was created. Then astronomy says that the sun was here first, then the earth was created. So it's contradictory on your end.
No, brother, that's not. In the words of the big homie Tupac, that's not necessarily so. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because to me, that's true. Um, it didn't say that um the sun and the moon was created. He said he put the sun, he put the light, the brighter, the sun to be a greater light and the moon to be a lesser light. So to me, I think the sun and the moon was already created, but what he did, he pulled it into place to where it was gonna
Madon,
be at.
Madon,
You see what I'm
Madon,
saying?
Madon. Oh, you
But
have okay. Wait, Madon. Before you proceed, There is nowhere in the Bible that where it says the sun was created, but he pushed them to the side, then he made the earth. So
No,
what
I'm
I'm
not
trying
saying he pushed them to the side. What I'm saying, when the Most High created the earth, wherever the moon was and the sun was, you know what I mean? He just put them in position to
that's
be a
false.
light, a greater light and a lesser light. You see what I'm saying? But no, I don't believe in simple astronomy. I believe in astronomy of the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? And the Book of Enoch.
If you believed in astronomy of the scripture, you would be a flat earther. The scripture says that the earth does not move. It says that it
Brother,
is
that's
immovable.
like I tell people over and over, brother. That's talking about his creation. His creation can't be moved. You can't move the ocean. You can't move the mountains. You see what I'm saying? And well, let me
Wait,
ask you this.
no,
Let
hold
me
on.
hold on
I
one
can
second, Sean. One second. One second.
I can prove to you
All right, go ahead.
100% what you just said is not true.
Well, all right, well, let me finish, and then when I'm finished,
We move
let me
oceans with
finish.
canals. I
Hold
personally have
on.
moved mountains.
Sean. Wait a minute, brother.
Yes.
Let me finish.
Yes.
Let me say this, and you can say that.
Go ahead.
Let me ask Jay. Let me ask Jay this real quick, right?
What's
All
up?
right. When the scripture talk about the people on the earth, on the sides of the earth, on the bottom of the earth, and underneath the earth, and inside the earth, um, to me that's a globe, brother.
Can you provide the verse? I'll
Can you
actually
provide
look it up.
who's inside the earth then?
Um, Different people. That's why you got caves. You got caves. That's why you got caves. Look at man. You know how many caves it is
No,
out here,
no.
man.
When you say
That's
that,
in the earth. You live in the earth, huh,
well, first of all, caves does not mean in the earth. Caves can be in a mountain,
brother? I'm
not
not saying
under
cave
us.
mean in the earth. I'm just saying caves are in the earth. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Caves are
Do you have
underground,
that
what we
verse?
consider underground or underneath the earth. And I mean, to me, how you? I mean, it's stuff out here, man. It's so much stuff undiscovered. To me, hell, we don't know. Just because we don't see nobody living in these caves, I'm not saying it might be some people that's never been. You know what I mean? I'm just saying you got societies and
Okay. Do you
man,
believe
you
in
never know
Bigfoot?
who's living under these caves in the ground.
Do you believe in Bigfoot?
No, I don't believe in Bigfoot. Nope.
Why? Why? I mean, it has legend, it has stories, all the same. Your Most High does. Why not? I mean, of course we haven't seen them, but why?
Well, I take that back. I do believe in what they would call a Bigfoot to me, which was like the natives said Sasquatch. You know what I mean? It's possible, but is they walking around today? I don't know. I don't think so.
Then okay, so
Or you never
then
know. They might be living in them damn caves. You know what I'm saying?
no. Here's the thing. I believe there's a possibility. I don't believe they are, but I do understand that there once was some, giant, logopithecus or whatever the hell it's called. I do believe. I know that existed. We know it did. It could be because I've watched documentaries about how guys flying planes for 3 to 4 hours over forested areas, and just everywhere they look is just nonstop forest still. So there's no way we could have said we've inspected every inch of this land to say that they don't exist.
Right, and I agree with that 100%, man. Because
But
like the
see, here's the
scripture.
thing:
Go ahead.
there is proof that they did exist at one time. I need proof that your Most High lived or was here or did something at one time.
Go look in the mirror, brother. You was created in the
I
image of the
see me.
Most High. Well,
No, I was created.
unless you
I
believe in
was created.
evolution, I
I
hope
do
not.
now. And then here's the other thing. So I believe
Oh
in
God.
evolution, but I'm under the understanding that I do not understand how evolution was started. But as in evolution, as what evolution is defined as, 100%. And
Well, I
just so you
mean,
can understand something,
see,
I was not.
but see the
There's
thing
no
about
God
it,
that created. No, listen. There is
that's
no
not,
God that created me. My father's sperm and my mother's egg created me.
brother. See the thing about it, you could every time you say that, it's still gonna go back to something. You're gonna say, "Oh, well, my great great great." Then we're gonna say, my great great great." But see, the thing
And
about it,
I
man,
also
it's
clarify.
no such
Okay,
thing. Let me say this, Sean.
then you
Let me say
explain to
this real
me
quick.
how evolution is real, but
No,
creation is real.
Well, I give you this. To me, it's a play on words. But to me, what they would call Darwinism or whatever they want to label it. To me,
No,
evolution,
okay.
how they
Here's the other problem.
evolution.
Go
Wait a
ahead.
minute.
Go
Wait
ahead. No,
one
finish.
second, Sean. Just let
Yeah,
me
yeah.
finish.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Evolution, what we call evolution, to me, it's not evolution at all. All it is an extension of creation. See, the thing about it, the Most High put in us everything we need, like I said before, to sustain and adapt. Everything in your body is already provided for you. You see what I'm saying? It's just like the software in a computer. The Most High put all the software inside man and woman, child, and chicken, and things in nature that it need to extend itself what we call creation. That's all it is. It's already in us. So that's why if we go to the cold, we can adapt. If we go to the hot, we can adapt. You see what I'm saying?
Here's
We
the
go to the
problem.
woods, we can adapt.
You're using the wrong. Okay. So adapt, and I've
No, it's
had
an
this
extension.
before.
That's called an extension of creation.
Okay. Problem. Adapting and evolving are two completely different things, and here's why. If you go to, let's say, Mount Everest, and you right now you're wearing a t-shirt and a jacket, or a t-shirt and pants. You go to Mount Everest and it's 20 below. What do you do?
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to use the instinct that the Most High put inside you. Gonna give you,
Okay,
gonna tell your
just
ass to
saying,
go to the
just saying.
woods. Now, you ask me what to do. It's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
tell
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
the program inside you. Gonna tell you to go to the nature and try to find some leaves or whatever to warm yourself up. And the scriptures tell you, don't be a fool.
So are you saying that? Wait, so you didn't say fire? Well, better yet, I'm not saying so primitive. You would put a jacket on, you would start a fire, correct?
Okay, well, yeah, if I had those tools with me,
I'm
yeah,
talking,
but I
yeah.
thought you were just
No,
saying, go ahead.
no, I'm talking more modern. We don't have to go back that far. I'm talking more modern. You put a jacket on and start a fire. Maybe even build a shelter.
Right,
That
that's correct because that's right. That's because the program that's inside you
Yeah.
gonna tell you to do that. Now, if you've never been educated on how to build a house,
Whoa, whoa,
your
whoa, whoa, whoa,
instinct
whoa!
is
No,
still gonna
no,
tell
no!
you to
You're going
find
against.
shelter.
Now you're going against what you're saying. No,
No,
now
I'm
you're
not.
going against what you're saying because the Most High and your whole creation thing does not tell people to do that. Because there are people that do get lost in the woods and die because they did not build a shelter, because they did not know how to start a fire. Now, if that was implanted into your brain, why wouldn't he teach? Why wouldn't he implant how to build a shelter? Why wouldn't he implant how to build a fire?
Because like I said, the Most High He controlled life and death, so it wasn't probably meant for that person to stay on this earth.
So you're telling me now God is picky? I thought he loved
That's
all his
correct.
children.
That's correct. But at the same
I
time,
thought he
like I
loved
say,
everyone.
the Most High control life and death. So to me, that's his choice. No, that's one thing about it, man. That's the most
So yesterday
mystery
I
of
was reading.
man.
Okay. Yesterday I was reading the paper, and a 3-year-old got hit by a car. Why did God not like her?
It probably wasn't the fact that he didn't like her. Maybe he had a bigger plan for her.
You
We got to stop looking at
you
it as
just
so
told me.
negative.
Well, you just told me that he is picky, which is the kind of the idea
Right,
of.
because just because you pick, like if I'm picky, right? Just say if I go to the gym and I see some cats I know that can hoop, and I see some cat I'm unsure about. But I hate to use that analogy for the Most High, but I'm just gonna say it like this, man. The Most High control life and death. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? And sometimes, I believe that he have different objective for that person because, like the scriptures tell you, before you were created, he knew you before you was in the womb. So your mom and dad probably created you, but your Most High knew you before you was even in there. You see what I'm saying? According to the scriptures.
Someone brought something up in the chat that I actually do ask quite often. Who created? If he, and most times I hear nobody. He just there with nothing.
Wait, can you ask that again?
So when someone who believes in creationism says the most God, whoever created everything, well, who
Uh-huh.
created that deity? And if no one did, how long was he just in nothing?
Well, As far as that, I the best I can, the best answer I could give you is that whoever it is outside of time. Now, if you're outside of time, there is no beginning nor end. So therefore, if you're outside of time, then you have always been, in a sense. It's kind of like our
That's right and
minds.
exact, brother. That's right and exact.
Yeah.
That's the correct answer.
Okay,
So
no,
it's
no.
like
I
our minds
want
can't
to make something really
perceive
clear.
that.
Let me make something clear real quick. It's not Madan that you believe; it's how you believe. I definitely I don't believe in God. I'm this is the way I
See,
guess I'm
that's the
built.
thing about it, Sean. When you say God, you have to be nowadays you have to be specific because when I say
You're
God,
right.
it may not be the same God that everybody
You're
talk
right.
about.
You're 100%.
When I say the Most High, I'm talking about
Mhm.
the all in all. Before time was, the Most High was. Before anything was, the Most High was. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it.
Okay. I don't believe in any spiritual force.
Well, that's your right. You can you know, so like the scriptures say, for what is some to not believe, shall that disbelief change the faith of the Most High? The Most High forbids. You see what I'm saying? So you see the creation.
Then why wouldn't your Most High have me hit by a car when I started not believing or when it became an
Well, Sean, maybe the Most High wanted you around to debate flat Earth. You know what I'm saying? And just be a blessing for you, brother. You know what I mean? I can't answer that for you. I don't know what purpose the Most High got for you. You know what I mean? All I can say, you're here amongst the living. So hey, collect it and smile, brother.
I, I'm not a
You
guy that
feel
would
me?
notice. I
I'm curious.
yes.
On a flat on your flat Earth, how can there be no creator?
How can there be no what?
How can there be no create? I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I'm saying that how can there
Well,
be no creator? Because like normally, flat Earth proves to an obvious creator, but I've actually never heard of a flat Earth proving like a flat Earth atheist.
um, because for the same, so the term of the Big Bang, I don't understand. I honestly, I just don't understand how that could happen the way it does. But I get how it happened. In a sense of, I can see how a molecule can one day become something completely different.
But okay, let me point you to my best evidence of a creator. Now, if you look up at birds, birds fly in the formation. They nature proves it. Birds fly in a formation. If you look at certain birds, they form a heart, a perfect heart. Actually, I don't know the name of the birds, but all over nature, whoever this creator is, he created things and things that have patterns, such as zebras, cheetahs, cats. Basically, most furry animals have patterns and different patterns. They're not all the same. Um, Not even zebras. Their stripes may not all be the same. Some of them have half stripes. Some of them have more. But as far as nature, uh, hold on.
Yeah. Uh, See, I get what Jay's saying 100% in that sense, but at the same time, we've been able to study and know that, for instance, cheetahs, their patterns are haven't been their patterns since the beginning of a cheetah. Um, we know that zebras, especially zebras didn't look like zebras 1,000 years ago. there were different patterns. Some we know there are linked zebras. I'm not saying within 100,000 years look like zebras did, but there are reasons for that. As in, one time there may not have been many predators, whereas in all of a sudden there was an abundance of predators, so they needed to be able to uh, to blend in better. And in doing that, they're also the zebras that had darker spots survived more than the zebras that didn't have any dark, which then
Well,
created or more line or stripes. Did you hear what I was saying?
yeah, I hear
Okay.
what you're saying, but what I'm saying, then that would lead me to ask, are you saying that animals can genetically modify themselves?
Absolutely, stronger survives. Just like I was just saying. So we know zebras didn't have so many stripes. So we'll just say 20,000 years ago. So when all of a sudden there's an abundance of predators, the ones with spot more stripes blended a little bit better, and the ones without the stripes stood out a lot more, and the predators saw them easier. And if they got all those, the ones with a little bit of stripes breed with other ones with a little bit of stripes. You get one with more stripes, and so on and so on and so on.
So,
Well,
but
Sean,
okay, then
that proves the flood. You see that?
No, it doesn't prove the flood at
Yes,
all.
it
Please,
does.
hey, Frank, come on. People who think about this flood, understand something. We can dig 100-foot pit, and I will prove to you the flood is bullshit. We want to know how?
Right.
Because we can
What created
manipulate a flood.
what created the Grand Canyon, brother?
Uh, yeah, 100,000 different floods of a lake. Not one flood. Impossible. You wouldn't have sediment layers. Do you understand what sediment layers are?
Yeah, I've seen it, I read it, I studied it, and what I'm saying, I got the T-shirt. But
Yeah, okay. 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 I see what you're doing there. You're full of shit.
no, I'm not. No, I'm not, brother. You know how many man? Listen, man.
No,
When
no,
I was
I have that.
young, when my mom wanted to punish me, she made me watch these different channels and shit like that when I was young, man. So I seen a lot about the sediment
So,
rock and all that. So,
and you know what? I get that because that's how I know what I know about animals. My dad and me were Discovery Channel freaks. Like that was like all I watched from as long as I can remember until I was 11, 12 years old, nonstop. So I get what you're saying. So continue. I just wanted you to know I get that what you're saying about that. Doesn't make you it doesn't give you a degree in it though.
no. I'm not looking for the degree, brother. You know what I mean? I'm just putting it out there in the atmosphere. But I'm gonna say this though. But yeah, man. But see, that's what we gotta remember, man. The Most High got flavor. You know what I mean? The Most High got flavor. That's why you see a bunch of assorted zebras and different kind of cats and tigers and bears. And
What?
dogs. Most High
No,
got
wait.
flavor, man. Most High ain't no lame
He's
ass
got
motherfucker.
flavor.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying he does. Look how many gorillas you got. Look how many cats, dog,
Okay.
birds. The Most High got flavor. Ain't nobody got more flavor than the
What
Most
kind
High.
of
Look at the
what type
meadows.
of
Look at the meadows and
what
and
other
all
type
that.
of gorillas are
When you
there?
look at that
What
shit,
I
you be
want
like,
you
wow. You know
I
what I'm
want you to
saying?
tell me what type of gorillas there are.
What you mean? What type of gorillas are?
So you said there are different types of gorillas,
Right.
and there are, but
Right.
there are three, and I want you to tell me the three. Or I think no, wait, yeah, no, I think there's pretty sure there's three.
I don't listen,
I'll
Sean.
check.
I can't get into all the different ones. All I can tell you is that you showing me that the Most High got flavor. Like I said,
Okay, but
three if
here's the
it's
thing.
three different kinds, if it's four different kinds, it doesn't matter. That's to me,
Okay,
that's the flavor of the Most High. You got
there's
different
four.
horses out here. Come on, man.
Okay, now you ready? There's four of them, and I want you to understand this. And this is exactly why I think the way I do. So the first one is a mountain gorilla. The second one is a western lowland gorilla. The third is a western gorilla. The fourth is an eastern gorilla. Now you tell me why they named those things that, and then you can also explain to me why they're called that. Or same thing.
Because
The
because
re-
because because when man discovered them, he said, "Wow, the Creator." he put these different they look these things they the same family but they're in different areas. So I got to call this one in order to separate the two the four. I got to call this one, and I got to call this that one, and that's what happened, my brother.
Why?
How
No.
much
Because
they how much they
That
pay
it showed
you,
the
Madonna?
flavor. It showed the Most High had flavor above all. You see what I'm saying?
How much they pay you?
Man, brother, I don't get paid for this. The Most High give me this for free, so I had to put it out there. You know what I mean?
hey, could you imagine if Madon had his like
I already know
a
you going.
somebody, like if he was like a nat like a worldwide speaker, like everyone like listened to. Could you imagine what this earth would look like? Would be like everyone would look like Shaft.
Oh man, that's funny, brother. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I'm braided up at the moment. That's what's in my picture. Those are my braids. I got like a dreadlock style, but it's braided up though. But I'm gonna
But
bring out
them
the
is not.
fro because I'm about to bring back out the fro because it's getting cold down up in this camp.
Okay, but not seriously though. A mountain gorilla is a mountain gorilla because of where it's found. It is different from the other gorillas because
Exactly.
it is suited for the mountains. Same and so on and so on and so on. And that is the exact same reason why cats are the feline family is different. That's why dogs are actually a man-made, but there are I think from what I was looking up and trying to figure out is if did wild dogs come from wolves or were there a couple different kind? Because a dingo is it's not a domesticated dog. It's not a man-made breed. Yeah, it's a wild breed. It dates back, but I don't know if a dingo would be a wolf descendant. But anyway, I digress. Everything is suited for where it is and and how it lives. So to say that the Most High has flavor, it isn't a reason.
Well, that's exactly what it is, man. Because to see the thing about it, um, when the creation story ain't dealing with just somebody just putting some clay together and doing this. Nah, man, we're talking about gene gene slicing, by all kind of shit. You know, with all them different names they use for anything dealing with creation in the body and all that, man. That's what the Most High was dealing with, man. It just wasn't some fairy tale crap. You know what I mean? He was dealing with some high science.
Now,
Well, he was dealing with science.
Yes, that's the nature of science.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying?
No, no, I don't get because if
What,
he used science, how did he create science?
what I'm telling you is this. Did the Most High not use the dust from the ground to create man according to the
No,
scriptures?
no, nope. Because he had to.
No,
Wait.
according to the
Oh,
scriptures.
okay.
According to the scriptures.
I thought you were gonna say like he created it in the beginning and all that stuff. As far as I believe so.
Okay, according to the scriptures, the Most High made man from the dust of the ground, which is the dirt. That's why they say ashes to ashes, dirt to dirt, because you go back to the dirt. You
I
see,
thought it was dust to
so
dust.
dust, dirt, it's the same thing. It's play on words.
No,
But
no, it's not. Okay,
well, I mean,
I'm
you know,
happy
I'm
you
just
said that
saying
last
dust.
part.
Most dust is brown, which is a collection of some form of dirt to
I
me.
thought it was gray.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying. The dust of the ground, brother. The deeper
I
you
know. I'm just
go,
fucking with you.
the most places, the deeper you go, the blacker the soil get. You know what I mean? Just like the different phases of life. But yeah, the most I was using all kind of stuff, man. When it was created, man, this was some high science, brother. And I
No,
think
but
but
that's what.
Sean, I could,
Go
you
ahead.
know, you do just realize that you like started a point and then you just halfway through went the most high.
Because I have to give credit to the
to the
one
Most
who
High.
right. All
But you
praises
could,
due. All praises due
but
because
you could finish
to
what you
me
were saying. You said people were made from dirt, dust and dirt. You said that, and then you said something the most high, and then you were done. I need you to like finish that.
I did. I said the Most High was using all kind of what we would call biology, gene slicing, whatever we want to call it. You know that we use today. As
Wait. He was doing gene slicing then.
it had to be. He was doing all kind of stuff, brother. That's how he was able to
It
create.
doesn't make
To me, that's how he was able to create all the different form of different cats. Like you got the Bengal, you got the tiger, you got the lion, you got
okay. But
you see what I'm
here's the
saying?
problem. Here's the problem with what you're saying though. If so, let's just say every time there was no birth, it's just all of a sudden like you blink and all of a sudden there's life in front of you. I would understand that. Study, observe, and see, and we can actually do it in a lab. We can change the color, the shapes, and the composition of animals. Animals can do it on their own based on where they're living. So we know how that works. That's an evolutionary trait.
And how and why do we know that? And why do we know that work?
In the laboratory ourselves.
Right, and by being in a laboratory, right, what do you have to study? Do you not have to study the program or the chemical makeup of the
You're talking
body?
about the DNA structure, basically.
You have to study that. They have to study that in order to understand how to change that or manipulate that. So
One hundred
they
percent.
see, so you can see that the program and the pattern that the Most High put inside the body was put there so man can get a sense of understanding these things.
Well,
It can and to an extent reproduce some of these
what
things.
you're saying is that the Most High made animals and humans the way they are so people could be gods.
Well, no, not necessarily, because according to the scriptures, we are God, but we should die like men.
Whoa, wait,
You know what
whoa,
I mean?
man!
But
I am
because
so
we are in
confused.
the image,
Wait.
because we was created in His image. You see what I'm
So I'm
saying? But
God.
we're not like the Most High. Yeah,
So I'm
you're
God.
a generator, you're an operator, and you're a destroyer, but you're not the Most High God. You see, you're not the Most High. You're not the supreme, the
So
all in all. You see what I'm saying? You're just an expression of the Most High.
so I'm just little
You
high.
see? Well, I mean, you can call it what you want. You can call it. You can call yourself You can call yourself Sean G having a spiritual existence on a physical earth. You see what I'm saying?
But see the problem. You're what you're doing is just taking the situation and saying Most High. You're not explaining how that is possible. To from
I am
what I've been told, no, what I've been told and what I've heard is that there is no man equal to God.
exactly. That's why I said you're just only an expression. You're just
Okay,
a dust,
so then
piece
why
of
would
dust.
God make people gods? Because if he's a creator and people
Well,
can create,
it's not like you. It's like, but that's a play on word when we say gods. That's why I say we're in the image of the Most High. So you are like a God, but not like I said. You're not the Most High God. You're not on that
hey
level. You
Madan,
see what I'm saying?
Madan, okay, because you said that, from now on when we have conversations or we see each other on panels or in the chat, I need you to say, "What's up, God, Sean?"
I can do that. The homies in New York been doing that for years. You see what I'm saying? That ain't nothing new, Sean. You know what I mean?
I need to
You
talk.
feel me?
If there's anybody in the chat that is also that does believe, I need you to verify that that is kind of how your God is too. I need to know if that if it's that is all religions believe it. Wait, Jay, you're a believer.
Yeah.
Are
Was
you a God? Does that is that how it is, or is that just he's so high that he thinks it's that way?
hell no, Madon off some he off some dust himself.
Because so what I said was
Brother,
right.
all
Like
right, brother.
people
All
that
right, when the
believe
scriptures,
are on.
all
Go ahead.
right,
No, go
Yeah,
ahead, Madonna.
it
when the
says
scriptures,
we
when the
are
scriptures
his.
say, when the scriptures say stuff like, we are gods, children of the Most High God, but we shall die like men because Adam fell. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you,
No, what you can't die like a man if you're God.
brother, listen, Adam fell, man. But and that's why you have it's still chaos on the earth. The earth is still recovering from the flood as well. But
Don't say the flood. Stop saying the flood. There's no evidence of flood.
Madon,
Sean,
it
there's more
says
evidence of
ye
the
shall
flood than
be
you think,
as
brother.
gods.
No, no, there's not at all because we can.
What was that, Jay?
It says ye shall be as gods. As
Right.
gods.
But
It
what
didn't
I'm
say
saying is,
ye
this, man,
shall be God.
if we're made in the likeness of the Most High, man, like I said, we're gods on earth, but not like in a sense that they make you think like, oh, you can you know what I mean, do all this supernatural shit. You know what I mean? No, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? but but nah, man, that's just what it is.
That's just what it is.
Yeah,
So you've
man. We
taken
you
so
know,
from what Jay just said and what you're saying, you've basically taken what you believe it to be and made that your belief.
nah, man, I'm having a living experience. I'm showing and proving. I mean, this is just what it is, man. Everything I've said, it could be validated. That's why I told you about man, the Most High creating man from the dust of the ground or the dirt, because when we go in laboratories, we can see how the Creator, who I call the Most High, put the patterns inside man. That's how we're able to go inside and do all this crazy stuff that they be doing, man. You know what I'm saying?
But what can you define crazy stuff that we be doing?
All right, far as like you know, they going to people. You could change your eye color. People getting different implants and all that. You know, you have to understand the body, and once you understand the body, which the Most High put the patterns inside the body, to for man to be able to understand. You
See,
see,
what
and
I
that's
don't
how
get
we're
at what
able
what
to.
you're saying is
That's
that
how
you people
sometimes
got
you can say that's why they're able to save a finger and do all kind of stuff because they understand the pattern and the program that was put inside the body, or what we call the makeup
see the
of the
problem
body.
with what you're saying is that when read 90% of scientists don't believe in a creation.
Brother, believe it or not, in the closet or out of the closet, anybody that's in the medical field, if they deny the existence or creator, they're just lying. They're
So
lying,
you
brother.
okay, I have a
I've
question.
studied. I've like
Okay,
three of my
so
past girlfriends. Hold on, three of my past girlfriends was nursing students, right? So I used to study with them, and you know me being on a
wait,
spiritual level,
that doesn't
me.
make you a
Wait a minute, but
doctor, but
hold
go
on, let
ahead.
me finish. But let me finish though. Let me finish. But me being on a spiritual level and understanding the scriptures and stuff like that, going studying with them through their nursing books and all them books they had to get and shit, you know what I'm saying, all them expensive books. Um, I seen through that. That's how I say, oh shit, you know what I mean? You see the patterns in there, you be like, yo, man, if you deny the creator, man, they just lying. And I understood the book better than all three of them put together. You see what I'm saying?
No,
By going into a
I
spiritual.
don't understand what you're saying at all.
Hey, it doesn't matter though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I mean? Hey, you don't have to believe, Sean. Just read it or weep it.
Good job.
I don't even know what to
Good
say to
job,
you, man.
Madonna. Good job, Madonna.
Nah, man, I'm just having a good time with y'all brothers and building, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm
Oh,
just
you was
giving you from
building?
my perspective. What's popping?
What you was building?
Yeah, no doubt, brother. I was dropping jewels, making them pay.
Oh,
So when you
Guys,
hear that,
John, you
when you
gotta
hear
stop
somebody
doing
say,
that without flushing, man.
hold on,
Flush. I should hear a
wait a
flush
minute,
when you're done. Then
I hear that, I hear you, Sean. But let me say this: when you hear somebody say dropping jewels, you know they got it from your brother. You know what I'm saying? But but that's all good. But yeah, man. But I ain't gonna lie, I got it from that's what the homie Pac said in the song "To Live and Die Lay." I hit the studio and drop a jewel, hoping they pay. So I was able to utilize that the great revolutionary.
you make me wonder. I mean, you have no idea. I thought I heard it all, but every time you
Yeah, man.
speak, you
I'm
are
on
definitely.
another level, man. You know what I'm saying?
Which
All
level is
praise
that?
is due to the Most High. What's
Which level?
poppin'?
Which level are you on?
Hey, ain't no name for it. It can't be named. You see what I'm
Well,
saying? Because
damn,
then
you that high?
it's not there. It shouldn't be there if
well,
you
it's
can't
there,
name it.
but you know, it's certain things you can't put a name on it. Like the mysteries of like certain mysteries of life. That's why everybody's wondering like how does the heaven work? Damn, what's is there a dome up there? Damn, is the star what the stars are made of? You see, that's the
Okay, Madonna.
mysteries of life
Then, so
that
then
the
what you're
scriptures
telling
tell you about. You see that?
Which one? Because it changes, like kind of like NASA's version of stuff.
Right. That's why they going up there. That's why they what they call exploring. They want to see like, wow. That's why they know the Most High is real. You know what I'm saying? They
Wait,
like
wait,
this.
wait.
This the Most High
So,
is so badass.
you do realize that
That's why.
most NASA employees, not most NASA employees, most of the astronauts and people that are involved in the space with the whole space thing, they're scientists and they do not believe. Why would they
Brother,
go there?
trust me, they just don't want you to believe. They want to fool you. They know that, man. That's why
Wait, wait.
that's
So
why when they go, that's why
isn't
the
that
thought of
like
even
sacrilegious or
go ahead.
something? Isn't it
What's
sacrilegious
up?
to believe but not want others to believe?
Well, hey man, like I said, they don't tell you to believe in not to believe in the Most High. Most of them astronauts go up in there. They are. Why you seen them? They be saying prayers, put crossing their heart and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hold
Hey,
on.
hey, trust me,
You ever been
brother.
skydiving?
They know the creator is real because that's why every
Have you
time
ever
they
been
think about
skydiving?
exploring, they get excited, huh?
Have you ever been skydiving?
Nah, man, I wouldn't do nothing like that, man. That's craziness.
Okay. I've been skydiving and I don't believe, but I did a prayer before I went out the plane. That doesn't mean I secretly believe. That's just a natural reaction when you're scared out of your damn mind. Now imagine going to
No,
now imagine going to fucking space. You don't think you're gonna do something to ease yourself?
but why? But why? But why? Because you want that creator that created you to take it easy on you. Like, woo, just let me get through this one. I ain't gonna do this
No, I
no
told you.
more.
But I made it very clear. My father and my mother had nothing to do with my safety jumping out of a plane.
Brother, what I'm saying to you is when you said that prayer, who was you sending the prayer to? You was sending it to the the Gargamel, was you?
It's called if I was gonna sit back and think about it, to my subconscious in which had doubt about what I was doing.
But Sean, you
The
said
same
you
way,
sent out a
same way,
prayer. You did a prayer,
for
brother.
the same reason. No, no, no. Oh, please don't fucking die. You know that, the whole thing, that thing. But so when you're like you're doing something, or you're about to do something, make something. The reaction may be different, or you got to run across the street, and you're trying to kind of subconsciously talk to yourself. Why do you
Well,
do that if there's a God? Why don't you vocally say what you're thinking in your head? Because you do realize that personally, I think it is an internal thought that when people believe.
well, who gave you thought,
My brain,
and what mathematical genius created your brain,
nobody.
Sean? Really, brother. So
Yeah,
so
really.
why is the brain what we would call normal when they say normal um able to function with so much accuracy? You know what I mean,
By far,
brother? That's not
what
that's
you
not
just said is so far from the truth. Because if that were the case, we would know how to fix autism. We would know everything there is to know about everything, and we know nothing. The
that's not
fact
what
that
I'm talking
no,
about.
no, no.
That's not
Here's
what
the
I'm
thing:
talking about,
is
Sean.
that absolutely what you're talking about?
No, brother, that's an extension of what I'm
Okay,
talking about. But what I'm
then what
talking
are you talking
about is that I'm talking about like when a baby is born, they say, okay, the baby is fine, the brain's working like it should, the heart working like it should. I'm talking about like that, and then you grow up, you know what I mean? And what you put inside you, that's something external. You see what I'm saying? But
Okay, so
the act of
if it is
being
if the brain is so
normal from
accurate,
birth,
okay, if from normal from birth and the brain is so exceptional, if someone has a baby, they put him on the ground and walk away, does that baby live or die?
well, Sean, that's come on, it depends.
No, you need to understand. No, it does not depend.
Yeah, it
It's a
depends
hundred
on where
percent
they left the
no.
baby. It depends on because
No,
Brenda
no,
had a
no. By
baby,
itself, it needs
but
to surface. Dude, you're gonna fuck you up. He said,
but they they,
he said,
they 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 found the baby in the trash heap. But I'm saying
no,
that's why I
no,
said
no,
it
no, no,
depends. You
no,
asked me if they leave a baby, would the baby
no.
survive? And all I ask you, it
It's
depends.
an obvious question. It's an obvious answer, isn't it? If you leave a baby, no one to help it, will it survive?
Okay, but that's different. I don't know.
Okay. Now, okay, no, the answer is no. And the reason for that is because the brain is not as great as you're making it sound. The fact that we have to learn all
But
these
see,
things
Sean, the thing
is
about it, we've seen why I say that, why I say I don't know, because we've seen the situations where babies been left and animals are raised that baby.
no.
Because,
You need to
yeah,
understand something. That is not true. That does not happen, and it is not true. It has never once ever happened, Madon.
yeah, that's happened, brother. Animals take care
Can
of
you
these babies.
you tell me where to find that, and I'll pop it up right now? Because I'm telling you now, that has never happened. There is not one primate on Earth that has ever found a baby and raised it. It does not work that way. What happens is there are people whose families that live in forests and stuff like that. Once a child can actually eat solid foods and fend and actually learn to fend for itself, there may have been children that were in that situation, but there is no baby raised by animals. It does not work that way.
Okay.
Now I could see it does. It doesn't. You show me where.
Hey,
It's no. There's
okay,
no
John.
case
Hey,
of it.
all I'm saying is it's possible. But let me say this, man. Yeah, you
It's
cracked
not
me up
okay.
on that one, John.
Madon,
You had me weak.
you go. I want you to go to the zoo, and I want you to jump in a cage
No, it's not
and
silly, man.
survive with some fucking animals. I want you to see what happens.
Son, that's silly, man, because you can't. Hey, check this out. Let me say this. Why? Why? But see, the thing about it, you can't do that, man, because them animals you going amongst are already some slaves. They being domesticated. They outside their natural element. So ain't nowhere in there. I want to go in somewhere where a motherfucker caged up. That's why don't nobody want to go to jail.
No. Just understand something. They're
You
not
don't want to
domesticated.
go in. You
They're
don't want to go in
caged.
the
No.
cage with a caged animal, brother.
First of all, they're not domesticated. They're still wild, but they're caged.
No,
That's why you don't want
brother,
to.
if you cage, you domesticated no matter what. If you can't run free with
No,
sovereignty,
that's not true.
you caged. That's that it, Sean.
Okay,
Come
so
on,
I have a
brother.
dog that is
That's
domesticated.
why the animals being there looking all sad, man, because animals got
Yeah,
spirits, man. They got a spirit like we
I
got.
don't even
You
want
know
to
what I
talk
mean?
about the zoo. I shouldn't have brought up the zoo because yes, I actually don't go to the zoo for that exact reason. It is sad and it's sickening. But what I'm saying is that you're no, I'm sorry, Madon. There's no such ever instance recorded or of knowledge of any animals raising babies.
Okay, okay, son. I give you that. That's why I said I give you that.
So I mean, so what I'm really trying to get at is that yes, the brain is infinitely complex to the point we don't understand it, but it is not. It's not as we're not. Our brain does not work as wonderfully as you think it does. We can learn. It gives us the ability to
No, I didn't.
learn.
I didn't say it. I didn't say we had full. I'm saying like when they say normal, as in I'm saying like when
No.
you
I get you didn't say that, but when we first started on that part about the brain, the way you described it is as it being so advanced, so the way it worked was so
it
great
is. It is.
that
That's a
it
fact.
made.
And you
That's
just
the thing. It's not true. At the same time,
yeah, brother.
just like
You
you
just
said, no,
confirmed it by saying that the brain is this, that, and we still can't really understand it. That's what I'm talking about.
okay, but that's the thing though.
That's how
It,
divine it is.
the fact that we can't figure everything out about the brain is proof fitting that our brain does not function like you're making it sound like it functions. The capabilities are
No,
endless, yes,
I'm saying
but
that
if that
the thought of even what we would call a brain in general shows that the Most High is the number one stunner. Is what I'm telling you, brother. That's why we got. That's why we're able to name these body parts. That's because of the Most High.
no
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
scientists or people who decided they wanted to figure things out like that said, "Hey, that's an arm, that's a leg," because I'm telling you now, cavemen and all those other type of people way back when, before language was a thing, didn't call it an arm, didn't call it a brain. They didn't use those words.
Well, whether they use a limb, whatever, they
No,
knew it was a part of them.
Okay,
They
put it this
said,
way:
"Hey,"
have
they
you
looked
ever
at they
heard a
they
dog
they
say
looked.
leg? Have you ever heard a
Man,
dog
hey,
say leg?
Sean, what I'm telling you is
See,
this:
the fact that you're able
no
to do
matter,
that,
no
you
matter, no matter,
believe that's what it needs to be.
no matter what I'm telling you is this: no matter if it was, I don't believe in K. Well, I do believe in the form of caveman, but whether it's caveman, natural man, or whatever man, um, it's like Michael Jackson said: anytime you look at yourself, you're gonna say, "Hey, this is another part of me." You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but when he did that, he was looking at probably two or three different versions of himself.
What I'm saying is this: you said a leg won't be called a leg, and an
It
arm won't
wouldn't.
be called an arm.
It's
But what I'm
not.
telling you, no matter what that person makeup was, he knew that when he looked down and saw his ligament, what we call ligament, he said, "Hey, this is another part of me."
Okay, I can accept that, but you need to understand that how we talk, what we identify things as, is a superficial version of everything.
Well, I mean, to an extent,
For
yeah, but
instance,
at the
for
same
instance,
time,
Madan, do you think you're smarter than wild animals?
for sure,
None of us are.
without a shadow
Why
of
do
a
you think
doubt,
that? Just give me a few. Okay, give me a few examples of why you
because
believe you
because
are.
because the Most High gave man dominion over the earth. You see what I'm saying? In that
Okay, now
aspect.
define that.
Now,
What does that mean?
that mean you got dominion over the
I need to.
land, animals, insects,
So
all that.
so so basically, what you're saying is that you rule over animals and land.
Right, but I don't supposed to mistreat them like most
Okay.
men do. You
Okay.
gotta,
Can can a tiger kill you, Madan?
oh now yeah, hell yeah, why
Okay.
for sure.
Can weather kill you, Madan?
Without a
So
shadow of
if
a doubt.
so, okay, then I would say it rules over you.
Well, it depends because it's the
If you
order to
okay, how
fight.
about this,
It's the
Madan?
order to
Right
fight.
now, today, with what you know, if you went into the middle of the forest and you were not able to get out of the forest, do you think you would survive right now with what you know of how to survive, or do you think nature, or you would struggle, or do you think nature may get you? Now, keep it real. Don't I don't know the whole Most High thing, but just seriously,
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, I will survive, brother, because I'm not only Madon Komet, I'm the Black
yeah. See,
MacGyver,
this
brother.
is what I
I'm the Black MacGyver. I will survive because see the thing about it, son, I'm Native American, man. So
That's right.
a
Yeah,
lot of stuff I grew
you
up
are a
doing.
character.
I grew up um
Okay. Okay. No, no, no.
around
Go ahead.
Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, and we
Okay.
went
So
in the
then
woods.
you did that. You actually did that. Then okay. Then I do need to rephrase it because that is a skill you've learned, and that then I believe you. Okay. Someone who has no outdoor survival skills, would they survive? Because we are talking man in general. We're not just talking me and you.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they
Let's
survive or not.
logically, most likely not.
Well, I mean that's hard to me in my book. That's hard to say because I don't know what instinct may come to that person or what
Okay, I can
supply
take
may.
that. That
You see
you
what I'm
know
saying? So it's hard to
yeah,
say. It's hard to say
because
now. Now,
you
if
actually
you
do hear
say if
people
you
that have no survival skills surviving. So you're right. But the realization is that nature and those wild animals have more power than you think you do. They have more power than you actually realize then. But
right,
here's what makes you
that's
what
because
makes you
that's
okay.
because the
Besides
fall
for
of
the
man.
most high, besides for the most high, what things make you feel smarter than an animal?
Because me, myself, and I. Because the thing about it, an animal can't create a gun. Animal
Okay,
can't
time
make a
out.
knife.
Time out. If guns weren't, if so, what does a gun do for you? I mean, what? How does that make you better than an animal?
Well, a gun is just a modern day spear. That's
Okay,
why
yeah,
the bullet is made like
but
a
but
spear.
we know
So
traps
it's the
and we
same
know
thing.
spears
A
work.
gun or a spear.
So I put it this way: I guarantee you, someone who's used a spear for 50 years will probably be able to still hunt better than someone with a gun. A gun doesn't make you an expert hunter.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah, that's real. You see what I'm
Okay,
saying?
so
Because you
then
can use your
so
spear. You run out
so
of bullets, but
okay, so yeah,
you can
exactly.
always make
So
a
a gun.
spear.
Okay, so a gun is superficial and can be and can run out. So and then it just becomes a big paperweight. So that doesn't work. Being able to use a gun means nothing then, because obviously we just said someone with a spear experience or traps can do the same thing.
You
So
said a big
that
paperweight.
doesn't
That
make you
was funny,
better.
but go ahead.
Or
I
better
mean,
yet,
what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this.
or better
With
yet,
the
well,
Most
yeah,
High
no,
put it.
no,
With the Most
so better
High.
yet,
With the Most High. Well, let me break it down to the simplest form. With the most, basically, what I'm saying is this. With the Most High, put in man. You know what I mean? Um, and all that. That's what make us better than the animal. But see, the thing about it, when you come out to a natural element, see, if I go in the animal element and he never been taken out, and he know his domain, and he know his surrounding and circumference, yeah, he might have an upper hand, but at the same time, it could be an even match. But overall, I can outwit him if I you know.
so see that's the thing. What you're saying is jargon. It's not even true. Because for instance, could you live in the ocean? Not with a boat.
Of
I'm
course
talking
not,
you
man.
go. Okay, okay, okay. Can you live in the sky?
Well, yeah, if I build something, but for just like,
No, no, no,
of
no.
course not, because I'm
No
not
plane.
born in the sky.
Okay, just understand something. Your gun, your plane, your boats, your TV, your books, your schooling, your job, your bank account, your house, none of that is it doesn't when I say smart, all those things are just superficial things because realistically, this stuff wasn't here forever. It hasn't always been here. We made this stuff. You tell me, how many times have you stressed over bills, Madon? Plenty of
Oh,
times, right?
all the time, all the time.
Okay.
This is Babylon.
How many
I understand that.
how many times how many animals worry about their bills?
How many what?
How often do you think animals have troubles with bills? None. I
Oh
say
no,
zero.
none.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
that's go what I was saying.
Madon, how many times have you worried about gas money? Or let's even say differently. People who have money, lots of it, they usually want to keep it and they got to invest and they have their stresses. How do you think that makes any difference to survival? Because when you really want to break it down, animals don't have the bullshit stress and this bullshit worries that we have. Because otherwise, if we didn't have those stresses, it'd be easy. Now,
Well,
at the same
that's
time,
well.
when it comes down to food, you do realize in the wild, humans aren't made to hunt. We can hunt, we can learn to hunt, we can adapt to hunting, but we are not built to chase anything down. We're not built to tear into any kind of flesh. We're not built for it. Animals are. So when you come down to actual survival, actual living, animals are 100% smarter than we are. Just because we're able to
Well,
make an iPad, just because we're able to drive a car, doesn't make us really that smart. We believe we are. But when I ask the question of, are you smarter than an animal? You take all your superficial things and say yes. But when you break it down to the
no,
the stuff
I
that
don't.
matters, no.
I don't need my superficial things. I said the Most High gave man dominion over the earth. You know what
Did
I
you say
mean?
minions?
Dominion, rulership.
But what are you ruling over? What could you see? That's the other thing. What can you rule over? If everybody is a ruler, who do you rule over?
Well, Sean, I don't know where you're trying to get at, brother, but what I'm telling you is this, man. Um,
I'm not trying to get anything. I'm just trying to make you understand that as smart as everybody, me, Jay, you, everyone thinks you are compared to nature, you're not.
but what I'm saying is this, man. According to the scriptures, right, the herbs of the field, um, is our food, according to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But He allow us to eat different meats if we want. You know, it's certain ones. But
But see, that's
according to the scriptures, but see, according to the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? People talking about vegan. Yeah, if the scriptures tell you the herb yielding the herbs and stuff of the field should be our food. You see what I'm saying? So the Bible was talking about being vegan long before these Sunday come lately came about.
okay. But then, if you're saying that, then as if you live that way, then you can't eat tomatoes, you can't eat No, I don't know. See, I'd have to research that. I want to say stuff. A lot. I know for a fact a lot of the fruits and vegetables we eat today aren't 100% natural. They're derivatives of science and what they become today. The bananas you eat from the store aren't natural bananas that were here 1,000 years ago. They're not.
Right. That's because man wanted to be greedy and wanted to mass produce stuff because they saw a benefit in greed. But see, that's how the Most High.
I actually do want
That's how when you mess with the Most High creation, it backfires, and that's why it's best to
backfires.
keep it
Oh
keep
no,
yeah
I didn't say
keep it
backfire because
natural.
I can tell you right now
No,
we live
I'm saying
longer than we
backfire.
ever did.
I'm saying that you were saying that the bananas and stuff that's now are nothing
Mhm.
like the fruit from a
At
thousand
all.
years.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we know
Oh
if we
no.
go to different parts of the Amazon and certain different countries, they still had that natural growth. And that's how we're able to do the comparison to see that hey, these bananas here is some
Okay.
rotten in the
See
cotton.
that
Some rotten in the
this is
cotton. You
actually
see what I'm
perfect for
saying?
what I was going to say.
So
No, that's perfect for
so
what I was
that's
saying
what I'm
because
saying.
what I wanted to know. I'm going to research and I want to figure out too is if that we know that's the case, and the issue with that is all the vitamins and everything your body needs. Even they in those tribes, there are different tribes that eat tree bark to try to get to the certain vitamins you need to survive. So who's to say there wasn't enough, and that's why people started hunting? So then
Well,
maybe you
it
weren't
goes back.
supposed to
It
just
goes
eat
back to
because of that.
being like greedy. But like I said, um, the
But I don't think greed. I think it goes back to being nomads.
what why do
You move to an area.
why do that's why I tell that's why I tell fat people not to be no disrespect. I tell them if you want to lose weight, you got to stop being greedy. You see,
Okay,
that's
but
what
what
it
about
boils
people with
down
thyroid?
to.
Hey, but so how many of the people that you say
Well,
that to,
well, I
do
mean,
you know
well,
for a
that's
fact
different.
don't have
That's different,
thyroid
Sean.
problems? It's
Sean,
not
I'm just
different.
saying. I'm I'm
It's
just
not
saying
different.
if they ain't been
So how many
diagnosed,
people were you going to
wait a
start
minute,
to say that
Sean.
to, and then you
Sean,
decided, oh,
stop it.
they have a thyroid
You
issue?
trying to make me. That's what I'm saying. Beyond that, if they ain't got no kind of issues are going on and they just blowing up like the Nutty Professor, you know what I'm saying? You need to stop being greedy.
Oh no.
That's why I
But
tell them, man, you want to lose weight,
what's
stop being
greed?
greedy.
What's greed?
Uh, Overconsumption. That's what the greed is. You know what I'm saying?
So do you
But
believe
then
that they
again,
were
some
over
people can say,
consuming?
right, depending on, well, I mean, I take that back, you know what I mean? But it is a form of being greedy. But at the same time, I
Yes.
say, hey,
The, my question
do what you will.
is what I have a question. So the I think it's the Ten Commandments, right? Greed and all. Or wait, no, that's not what that is. It's what's like the sinning things, the greed and the lust. What are those? What is it called?
You can see that as that those are transgressions, but at the same time, you can
No,
see
but what are
those
they
as
called in the Bible?
over
You mean
consumption.
sin?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
well,
said
the
it's sin
seven deadly sins.
or
There you go.
transgression.
Okay, but how did how did God and how did back then they show greed? Because I'm pretty sure they didn't have
The
three
same,
course
the
meals.
same. Yeah, man. That's why you talk about when you look about the story of Lazarus and all these other people eating at the rich man table and eating the crumbs off the rich man table and you you see what I'm saying? Greed was in the scriptures as well. That's why when people promote Egypt, like, oh yeah, Egypt was the first civilization, not realizing that that was the system, that was the slavery. That's created more poor and rich. You see what I'm saying? So that's greed always been around ever since the
Okay, I see what
fall
you're
of
saying.
man. Yeah.
But man, every time you talk like it fucking throws me off what I was thinking and I forget every time. You notice that every time Adon talks, I get that little pause. I'm trying to recollect my fucking thoughts.
Because
Hey
Madonna
man,
always
I'm just
take you out of the world.
yeah, man. I try to
Keeps me on that
um
high. It's a contact
Nah,
high.
man. I try to take pictures when I speak.
You suck as a painter.
That's all right, man. A lot of people thought Picasso was the worst. To me, it was the worst.
He
I
was.
got some issues on. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? But some people think it's art. You know what I mean? But hey, I guess it's real. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, art is in the mind's eye too. So maybe that just means that you believe that. It doesn't mean it's real. You don't paint when you paint a picture. It is not an actual thing of living source. It is your image. So does that mean that a creator is only
But
your image?
but
Is not real?
but the thing about it, what I speak on about the creator can be validated scientifically, theoretically, any kind of error. You want to name? You know what I'm saying?
He said any kind of. Yeah. Right. Well, I don't know about
Yeah,
everybody,
man.
but I feel like I'm done because I'm at a point now where most people that do come around here and listen to my streams understand once I say this is how I feel. I'm done, tired, done talking. Madan, and this is I do was enjoyable to talk to you. I do appreciate you coming to the panel. I know everyone gives you shit, but I think you like it. I honestly think you enjoy it. I think you like to be able to say what you feel you need to say, and with that you accept what we do. But you are an entity of flat Earth that I don't think would work without you.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Well, me, you know what I mean. I just come natural and come as I am. You know what I mean. And
Yeah, that's
but
for
like I
sure.
say, man,
You are one of your own.
this is my past. I like this my pastime, man. A lot of times I'll be at work, or I'll be working on some of my you know, my ideas and stuff, and you know, I had y'all playing or be chiming in. It's like a pastime, man, because you know, a brother could be out here doing anything. You know what I mean? But I work and shit. You know, I could be picking locks and coming through the door blasting or some shit. But nah, man, I enjoy kicking it with the flat earthers, even though you know some of y'all crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? But it's a good topic, man, and I like building on different truths and stuff like that. So that's why I come around, man. You know, my pastime, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he like to build on the flat Earth truth. He just
Yeah,
said it.
because
Nah, man, I had to
Madon
show
just
how
said it.
the flat Earth is just it's not possible, man, because somebody gonna have to come up with y'all a new model real quick. You know what I'm saying? Real quick.
Nah,
okay.
y'all need
Well,
a model.
you really do you believe that your globe had a model the second you guys thought it was a globe? Because you do realize that they're just figuring out that it's a oblique sphere,
Well, only reason I
and
think a lot of them saying
there's
that,
still
and
so much they haven't figured out.
and the reason, and like I was trying to tell the brother Sanchez on his show earlier, the reason to me now this is mine now I ain't get this from nobody. To me, the reason they call it the oblate sphere is because it's spinning. You see what I'm saying? It's spinning, man. You got one hemisphere spinning in one direction, and the other hemisphere kind of in the winds spinning in another direction. So through the atmospheric spin, to me, that's what making it look like an oblate sphere. I could be wrong,
But
but
see,
that's just my humble opinion.
well, I'm not going to get into it now because I'm tired. But next time I stream, this is definitely I definitely want to address. I've told many people I don't know very much about the cosmos and all that stuff. When Brother Sanchez talks, it kind of because I never was into that, but I'm gonna start. So I actually started doing it past couple shows I think. When he starts talking cosmology, I kind of start jotting names and things down so I can start trying to understand it. But I need to
Hey
do
man,
this
I'm gonna tell
because
you.
when you
I'm gonna
talk
tell
about
you.
when hang on, no, because I don't want to learn from you. So I'm being told from people about stars and this how everything spins in opposite directions. Everyone keeps saying southern hemisphere the stars are spinning in different directions, but then I asked this one question and I haven't got a good answer yet, and I need someone that does understand it, Namadan. If you are 100 miles, 200 miles up north of the equator, and then you look at the southern stars, are they still doing that opposite spin crap you keep talking? Because if they don't, then what you're saying is all you've done is turn around, and then the rotation would be different. But at the same time, to me, I don't understand to know what's rotating and what's stabilized. We're not moving, and people say we are. And if you can measure your so-called gravity, then why can't you measure your so-called uh, damn, yeah, see, this is why I'm tired and done. The spin. Why can't you measure that?
Well, to me,
Centrifugal force.
just check out a time lapse, man. A time lapse to me is some of the greatest evidence that this Earth and everything is moving, man. That's the best evidence I've ever seen.
But see,
Was a time lapse
what's your
of the
evidence that it's
sky, a
spin?
time lapse of the night sky, and if you look at it, you can see that you know,
Okay.
the Earth
What
is
if the
spinning
sky
one
spins?
direction.
What if
The,
it's
the Earth is
the
spinning in
stars
one
fixed?
direction. The Earth is spinning in one direction, and the cosmos is spinning in another one.
You can't tell that.
Yes,
The
you
only
can
way
on
you
the
could tell
time
that
lapse.
is if you no. The only way you could tell that both are spinning is if you were in the middle of both. You can't be standing on one
Right, and that's
and know that
yes, yes. The point you are can be considered the middle. You see what I'm saying? Wherever you at is the middle. So
no.
you
You
see what
can't
I'm
be
saying?
standing on Earth
Yeah, yeah. Because you can
and
go
know
to the
Earth is spinning. No, it doesn't work that way.
Sean.
That's just
All right,
reality.
tonight. Whenever you get a chance, go back and look at a time lapse of the sky, and just try to look in the middle of the
I want to show you
of the
something,
frame of
Don.
the picture, and
I
you'll
want to show
see
you
what I'm
something.
talking about.
And I know I'm going to show you something real quick. I want you to understand something. You tell me to go look outside like I have never looked outside in my life. I want you to see something, Madon. Because on a regular basis, Madon, that's what I do. My time is looking up. Which one is it?
So what are you showing me?
Just hang on. Oh, see, wrong one. I spend my time taking a lot of pictures up in the sky. So when you tell me to look up, when I go out, when we're to go outside and look up, I do. I do a lot. That's all I do. And since I got to flat Earth, so tell me just look up. You go understand is bullshit. Up, you know what I see, Madon? I see eclipses that aren't there. I see uh, I see sun. I see I see backlight. I look at the moon and I see clouds that don't really make too much sense. And that maybe the cloud. Why does that cloud look like it is behind the moon? Those are the things I see when I look up. So when you say go outside and look up, I have been. Trust me. Of everyone on this flat Earth, I should be the one that people clearly understand. I want to know the truth.
Well, when I said go outside and look up, I was saying that when you go outside and look up, um that the stars or the heavens declare the glory of the Most High. That's what I meant by saying when look up. You seeing the
Well,
glory of
first
the
of
Most
all,
High.
put it this way: I could explain everything. When I look up, I can explain everything and have a version in my head of how to prove those a million times easier than I would ever be able to prove a heaven or a God. I'm sorry. And
Well,
and like I said, I 100% respect everybody's beliefs, and I don't think anybody that believes is any wronger or right than I am. But when you look at the facts, there is zero facts towards a creator.
well, Sean, let me
I
say this to you,
disagree.
brother. Let me say this to you, brother. Real quick.
No, well, zero facts for me because I completely I've my aunt is very religious. My brother is. I get it, and I get where you're coming from. And I also do believe that the way you believe and the way your brain may work upon you believing maybe gives you the opportunity to see those facts. But for me, as a non-believer, I don't see that anymore. I don't see any way of creation over evolution. Now, let me repeat myself. I do not know how evolution was created. I have zero clue. But I can tell, I can see it, I can observe it, I can do it myself, explain and show evolution.
Well,
Now, that is my only
It's
version of why
I
I believe in
call
evolution.
that an extension of creation. That's all it is.
But okay, but here's the thing. I can give you that, but I don't believe what created evolution or created anything is a something.
Well, I mean, that's cool with me. But
I
but
mean,
like I said,
it's
anytime.
100% upon my belief, and I get that. That's why I do respect the fact that people do believe, and I respect their beliefs 100%. Like I said in the chat earlier, this is fun. Everyone fucks with Madon. This is what we do. Madon likes it. I don't walk around doing this. My beliefs are 100% my belief. I completely respect you, Jay, because I know you believe, but and I don't ever talk to you like this, like I'm talking to Madon, right?
right.
I believe I respect it. Madonna's just Madonna.
Hey man, I'm a,
So
I'm a,
this
I'm
is
a, I'm gonna keep
just
it
in
playing.
case anybody had, and I do appreciate that. I do like the fact that you are willing to say what comes off the top of your head. I mean,
Nah,
not
man.
talking the swim thing, but I'm just
No,
thoughts.
I felt that shot, brother, come out the top of my head. Nah, man, this shit I talk about is embedded, brother. It's embedded. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? He
And
tried
people
to
do
take a
have to give
shot.
you
Thought I
respect
gonna
on,
miss it.
and people do have to give you see, and this is mainly why the same way dreads respected my beliefs when I thought it was a globe, and they still let me, still have discussion with me, and in my opinions, just as strong in in your most high. So I have to at least respect that, regardless of whether or not I think you're talking about yourself being that high.
Well, that's cool, brother. But it's just like
I,
hey man, you
but
know what disaster mean, right, Sean?
disaster,
Right.
yeah, to destroy, the
Nah, brother.
destruction of. Oh God, well I can't
Disaster
wait.
means disaster means from the stars.
See why? I don't get it. I don't. You say things
Because the stars that's why
like that.
that's why all civilizations was fascinated by it because they knew it was the working of the most high, and a lot of times when something was gonna happen on earth, they was able to almost see what the most high had
So
in store.
so did
You
the
see what I'm
so
saying?
the Most High, made a asteroid or whatever come down, hit Earth, and kill everything. Or let me guess, was it the devil?
Well, I mean, a lot of whether it was the devil or not, the most high, you know what I'm saying? He gave the green light.
Hey, you know what? I think I may have the most respect for your God, but because your God is willing to kill. Like your God don't give a fuck about nobody but himself. It's like
No, it's not like that,
I'm the
man.
Most
To me,
High. You
like I
just
said
said it is.
earlier, man,
You told me earlier. You even said
like
earlier. Your
he had a
God
different, yeah, right. Like I
kills.
said earlier, um, the Most
Yeah.
High,
So
the
let me
Most
say,
High, when he take a
your
to me, let me say this to me
God.
when he take a life, whether he take a life, to me, it's possible the Most High had something else for that spirit to do. You know what I mean? Because we know it's the spirit in man that make man operate. You see what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
just covered in a
I
vessel,
want to.
your flesh.
I want to see something
So
done.
that's why
But
I
not,
feel like when the
and
Most
this
High
is
take a
hang
life,
on.
maybe he had a bigger plan for that person. Especially if they was what we would call um good and not out here doing nothing wicked.
I got to see something. Hang on. I gotta do it right. Hang on 1 second. Go keep talking because this. It's just, um. Let me ask you
At the
something, man, Don.
same
I'm
time,
gonna.
Sean, that could.
I was letting
Oh,
it. Oh,
sorry.
go ahead, Jay.
I got.
At the
What'd you say?
same time, the same arguments can be used as a sword for you as well, Sean.
What do you mean?
Because as far as now, you said I pointed out that I asked you, then nature would have to biologically um, change itself, and you agreed that yes, it does. And that if that were the case, then animals wouldn't go extinct. But basically, what
No,
I'm
because
trying
the
to get
same
at,
way. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say basically what I was getting at is basically like the patterns in like even if like to most importantly the birds fly in a
Mm.
V shape. Most birds they fly in a V shape, and it's like the actions and the patterns of nature they point to a creator. Because I mean I don't think an accident or whatever you want to call it, I don't think it would fall into perfect sync so that
But
everything could exist the way it does.
but it doesn't because what you did, like how you're saying, things, not everything does change or become a mutation to survive. It doesn't always work that way. So there are times where things go extinct because there wasn't enough. They didn't figure it out
And
fast enough.
you know why? According to the scripture, the Most High made it go extinct. If the scriptures tell you that when certain plants or animals die off, it was because the Most High made it.
I don't. I don't think
He
so.
did that.
I see.
Well, I mean,
See,
that's
that's
according
what I
to the
don't understand.
scriptures.
That,
That's according to the scriptures.
but see,
What
that's the thing that confuses me the most. You describe it as one thing, becomes necessary. It becomes a different. Something, the description becomes something different.
Oh no, go ahead, Jay.
That's
I thought.
one of the.
wait say what now?
Oh no, I thought you was about to chime in on something, but no,
No,
I'm just saying the scriptures tell you when a certain species die out, animal, plant, or whatever we want to name it, um, it was because the Most High timed it out. That's according to the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? That's what the scriptures say.
okay, so how did the scriptures say what happened 10,000 years later?
Well, I mean, it's gonna give you. It's not going. Like in the scripture, they don't go into detail like that. But if you're able to have an open mind and not be molested by the 501c church
Damn,
systems and
man.
stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? You can get
Whoa.
a clear understanding of the scriptures.
Yeah, yeah. Madonna
Like
went
me,
to a
I
different
wasn't
spot, man.
like to me, like for me, I wasn't raised in the church. You know what I mean? You feel me? I didn't get into the scriptures into my 20s after I was studying in Egypt. See, Egypt, by studying in Egypt, a lot of people say, how the hell you do that? I was studying Egypt and Nubia and the Sudans and the Kushite and all these other ancient societies. And then I got back into the scriptures because I started seeing all these names of land masses. So to me, that brought me closer to the scriptures. And I seen how the scriptures was right and exact. But the scriptures tell you these things, man. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't. I guess we got to agree to disagree. It doesn't. What I'm asking you, you're not answering, and you're. It's like a workaround.
My bad. I
You're,
meant to
you're
answer
reaching
that.
around, but
What
you're not
happened
finishing.
was, let me say, I'm gonna answer it real fast. It don't give you a diagnostic. I mean, a history of 10,000 years ago and all this. A long laid out detail. It give you clues where you can to me where you can put the puzzle pieces together. You see what I'm saying? To show you,
And
and that's
that's
why I
kind of like
say when different plants die out, or whatever it is, it's according to the Most High, according to the scriptures.
Madonna, just Madonna to everybody. I know it. Did you just mute yourself?
Yeah, I put myself on mute because I thought I thought you was gonna reply.
you, you were in the middle of talking. You did it.
No, I was finished. I was
It's
basically telling you, you
okay.
see it
Okay.
when you see an insect or a bug or plant or whatever, or animal, or if it die out, it's because the Most High put it in place for it to die out, according to the scriptures.
I would say differently, especially seeing there's so many different types of animals. To be able to say the scripture said so is it's a reach to me.
Brother. If the
But
scriptures tell
on
you
that, I'm tired.
when
No,
if
no,
the
hey,
scriptures if the
but
scriptures hold on, if the scriptures tell you, if the scriptures say it said it, I'm saying it verbatim, but you can kind of type in what I said and find it.
I have a perfect one. I have a perfect one. The saying "as above, so below" is not true.
Well,
The
listen, what I'm
underground
saying,
is different from above.
see that's
I
something
agree
different
with you
because
on
see
that.
now check this out. Now when the scriptures it goes into deep detail, man. It tells you how when you see a certain species of plant or a certain species of animal die out, it was the Most High will for it to die out. It tells you just like that. It don't say as above, so below. Like you know what I'm saying? It tells you when you see a species of plant or something die out or animal die out, it's because of the Most High. That's to me that's straightforward.
As for as above, so below. I agree with Sean on that. Actually, in in Christianity, there's I don't know if y'all know what the Baphomet is. It's the goat with the breast and the penis. The little I think it's satanic, but it points up and down, and that's I guess it's a symbol of as above, so below. So I believe that that saying is deceptive.
But,
Well, a lot of time
there's a
as
lot of
above, so I was just gonna say this real quick. A lot of time as above, both so below. To me, it's sometimes it's dealing with an offshoot of um like the scriptures say um that will be done on earth as it is in heaven when that kingdom come. You see what I'm saying? So that's how some of that go.
okay. Madon, I do appreciate you coming. Jay, you know I always appreciate you being here. Madon, you're more than welcome to come back. Um, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm gonna go live tomorrow, probably early, because I'll have a long day at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm tired. Madon, I do appreciate you coming by.
No doubt, man.
Jay,
It's been a good bill, man. And put on the audio version of the Book of Enoch, son. You can learn about the cosmos and a lot of this stuff, man. It'll help you. That's what I do, man. I lay back and listen to some of these books, and you can go deep
whoa,
in your
whoa,
own
whoa,
thought.
wait.
Keep it popping.
So so you listen to the Book of Enoch?
Yeah, if you listen to that, man, it goes into detail.
Okay,
I
then
listen.
no, nope, I'm good. Hey, I'll just go down to my homeboy's house. I'll get a blunt and I'll smoke the shit out of it, and I will be the most high. Okay, how about that?
Hey, well, you do what you want, but if you want to know something about the cosmos, to me, it's a good insight of how
Okay,
the
no, I
moon
have a
works. It
serious
tells you how
question.
the sun works.
I have a
You know what
serious
I mean?
question.
And
Is that
what's
is
popping?
the Book of Enoch? Is that a place? Is that a place of the start of that, or is that kind of in the middle of how all that started?
How what started?
Like does the Book of Enoch, is that the beginning of this cosmos, or was there stuff before that?
What I'm saying is
I mean,
this, son.
uh, no, no,
Let me
because what I'm telling you is because I don't have no, no, because I don't have any real knowledge of the cosmos like that. I don't want to start in the middle of it. I need to literally start at where the first versions of the cosmos began. That's where I want to start. So is that, or should I? Is there something before that before I get to that? because I'm not going to stay with one version. I want to understand it all, because once you learn all of
No,
those,
what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that.
you
I'm not
kind of
saying
bits
that.
and piece it.
Just hear me out real quick. What I'm saying is this. I'm not saying that, oh, the Book of Enoch is the end all be all or the start all. What I'm saying is this. It give you a good, just like different other ancient cosmologies. To me, you got to study them all, because that's what the scriptures say. Um, Through the understanding of all the languages of men, we can understand the mysteries of this world. So to me, you got to study them all. And why I was saying the Book of Enoch, to me, it give you a good insight that you could use that insight and all the other ones and do comparison studies with them. But to me, it give a good explanation of how the moon work and the sun work, and then you can just, to me, just compare them with other ancient societies. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying just, oh, just stick with that one, stick with the Book of Enoch. Nah.
But maybe it's I'm not like, so I'm not trying to say give me the Christian version of it, or you know what I mean. I'm saying like who would have been the first to have recorded their ideas of it?
Well, I mean, to me, that's gonna be the
Because
debate of the century, because it's hard to date
oh
a
yeah,
lot of
okay,
these
I see what you're
ancient
saying.
societies.
Yeah,
It's hard to date a lot of these ancient
okay.
societies. They can only guess.
Is would you consider that to be where Bro Sanchez is speaking of, or is that something else?
Well, what Brother Sanchez is bringing out about a lot of the cosmos, you know what I'm saying? It's dealing with a lot of the ancient societies. It's you know what I mean? But there's a lot more out there, you know what I mean? That goes into different how they saw the moon and the sun and all these other
So
things in the sky
wait, who is
operate.
it? What was it called? I'm looking through my notes. Hang on a second. There's a name, and that would probably the Mama, the one with the three arms. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
You was breaking up, Sean. You're gonna have to say it again.
The like it's like a Mama something. I don't remember. The one it has like she has three arms. I can't find the name. I'm trying to find the name.
What's that from? That's from ancient India or something? Or some part of Africa?
Yeah,
Three
yeah,
arms?
something like that. For him saying that was like the beginning of like all man and woman and stuff like that. But that's kind of what I mean. Like, but I see what you're saying. Even when describing the cosmos, it comes the same way as religion almost does.
Right, but at the same time, we got to understand that each societies, what they saw in the heavens on this wide earth, it was it was pretty much accurate, but it was according to where they was at on their position of the earth. You know, just like when the ancients was using the stars. Yeah, you can use a certain star, but you better know where that star was a week before you try to use it again to get your way home. You see what I'm saying? So
Okay. Yeah.
each ancient society, they showed their cosmos according to where they was living at.
Does your God believe he is the only one? Oh no, he thinks everybody's a God. Okay, never mind.
Nah, man, you got brother. Man, you just don't know, bro.
No, hey, no, hang on. Time out. I'm about 30 minutes past when I said I'm done. I'm done. To everybody, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Peace.
Nothing but flat love. I need everyone to know I'm going to be streaming probably tomorrow before around between 9 and 10, 11. I'll be streaming unless, the family dreads or anybody else is going to be streaming, then I won't, because I don't like stepping on toes. But I do plan on streaming in the morning. It will not be on this subject. It will be on other stuff. But this will come up again because actually I do actually want to understand a lot of the things that are said. Thank you for coming.